Blog Talk Radio.
Here we go. Blast off.
This is True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of business.
Give him capitalism or give him death.
That's it. Period.
Broadcasting from his Skyline office studios in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas.
You sound fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops, for Christ's sake.
And now, he'll take it from here. Your host, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the man they call Ghost.
Taco Tuesday. What's going on, folks? And thank you very much for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. This is episode number 470. Episode number 470 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like for everybody to please spread it around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Now, folks, I want to apologize for not being here yesterday on the broadcast. I am being overworked, to say the least, all right? I mean, I got corporate taxes due tomorrow. I just mailed the freaking autographs. I mean, let me tell you something. There was a lot of autographs that had to be processed. I did not anticipate it. They are all out. They're in the mail. Let me tell you something. You people out there at the United States Postal Service, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You understand that? I'm out there dropping hundreds of dollars a month at your stupid, dumbass, ridiculous service, and you people act as if I'm bothering you when I'm out here trying to ask you to do your effing job. So anyway, folks, I had to take a break yesterday to attend to other business. Aside from that, folks, let's just put it this way. Yours truly got a message from our contacts within the FSB in Russia. Now, I have alluded to this before, folks, about the Sholtai Boltai. The Sholtai Boltai was the hacker group for which was actually integrated in the FSB. Two of those particular operatives have already been banned, and as a result, we have no idea what has happened to them. They have been removed, and they probably have been executed, for a lack of a better term. Well, because I have only been one of the few voices that have actually not only have been critical about Russia, but have actually been right, according to the contacts that have been within the FSB, about Russia and about their intentions and about how this whole ruse about Russia and America, and when I mean America, I'm talking about the bureaucratic system, the establishment being against each other. Folks, it's a ruse. And I'm going to prove it to you here in the next hour, or at least once we get through the markets and once we talk a little bit about a couple other subject matters, then we're going to go ahead and get right into it. But let me tell you something right now. I am going to make an assertion here in the next hour that not only is Russia here amongst us and has developed a spy network amongst the United States of America within the United States of America, but that the Obama administration and the Democrats helped them do it. So with that being said, folks, you go ahead and spread it like wildfire. This is an exclusive right here. This is from our sources inside the FSB, all right? And that's all there is to it. And I'm going to make a case here, and for all you people that are listening in out there, all you investigative journalists, I'm going to give you some breadcrumbs here in the next hour on Russia and their ties with the Democrats and how and where the spy networks, the centralization of Russia's spy network, I'll tell you exactly where it is in America. Oh, that's right, folks. That's right. I will tell you exactly what's going on here, and this is directly from the FSB contacts that we had. I'm just going to put it that way, and that's all there is to it, okay? And that's another reason, folks, yours truly has been gone as well. Not only have I been getting contacted by the our contacts from the FSB, I had to sit here and lay up the smacketh down to some of these fruit bowls in the alt-right that's starting to piss me off. All right, now for you folks that are unaware, I was locked out of my account, a Twitter account, because of this alt-right little leprechaun fruiting up little fruit bowl named Lucian Wintrich, a.k.a. Lucian Einhorn out here, okay? He came at me and literally sent the Twitter police after me because I tweeted something in references to certain kinds of photography or whatever he likes to consider art. All right, and for you folks that are aware, I tweeted some crap that was on his website that showed either him or some little twink of his naked butchering up a goddamn duck. All right, another twink, naked with a dead rabbit over its brow. I mean, give me a break. And yet I tweet this, and then I get locked out of my account because this fruit bowl is using leftist tactics against me. And let me tell you something, folks. I'm going to get to that in the next hour, too. We took care of Lucian Wintrich. I'll tell you that. That's why he doesn't want have you noticed? He doesn't even want nothing to do with me. He doesn't want nothing to do with a capitalist army. If you got the capitalist army or a capitalist right hashtag in your profile, you're automatically ignored by this guy. He already realizes that he done goof coming at me. I'll tell you that right goddamn now. And we're going to get to that in the second hour. Well, with that being said, folks, let me go ahead and get to the markets because we got a lot of things to talk about. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We got a lot of things to talk about in here, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if we're going to I don't know if we're going to be able to get it all. All right? I don't know if we're going to get to it all. I have no idea. I mean, I take one day off to try to take care of some business, and at the same time, trying to get back at some of these alt-right idiots that think that they can come at the capitalist right without no repercussions. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the markets, folks, because I'll get to all this stuff in the second hour. It's very exclusive. The Russia stuff is very exclusive. And if you're an investigative independent journalist, you better take these breadcrumbs and you better do something with them. All right, go out there, write stories about it, because what I'm about to give you, anybody who's listening, if you start investigating, you're going to make so many goddamn connections with the Democrats, the Obama administration, these people that have integrated themselves in American society. Not only integrated themselves in American society, these are people that are so close to Putin that it's like they shouldn't even be in this country as far as I'm concerned, all right? Now, with that being said, the reason let's just get to that in the third hour. Let's get to the markets. I know everybody's concerned about the markets. Tomorrow's the big day for which we're going to see the type of impact the Federal Reserve is going to have on the markets with its raising of the raising of the interest rates. And I always said here going into this day that if Janet Yellen, by any means of the word raising interest rates, if she raises the interest rate any more than a quarter point, expect major waves in the stock market, and not just the stock market, the markets, plural. All right, be expecting huge waves, and it's not going to look pretty. It's not going to look pretty, and as I stated, folks, what are we witnessing here? We're seeing an over-speculation on the dollar, which is increasing the value of the dollar. That's why you're seeing prices to a lot of things go down, because the dollar is valuable. Now, how does the dollar be valuable? Well, you're seeing a lot of uncertainty in the financial markets and the international community. I mean, take a look at what happened to my mates across the pond in Britannia, they passed Brexit. We're going to talk about that in the third hour. But that's, sending off some shockwaves within Britannia's market. You've got people in the EU don't know what the hell they're coming or going. You've got the elections going on in the Netherlands that are within hours here. We don't know what the hell that's going to do. We've got one of the candidates in France being indicted because he's a goddamn corrupt bureaucrat while he's running against Le Pen. So that should cause some shockwaves. A lot of uncertainty in the EU. Nobody wants to hold euro dollars. So what are investors doing in Europe? What are they doing in Asia, for Christ's sake? You've got a debt situation going on in China. You've got uncertainty all over the world. So what are investors doing? They want to cash out in American U.S. currency. All right, and when they cash out in American U.S. currency, you've got these investors holding U.S. dollars, which all of a sudden, by default, becomes a scarcity in American currency. People are hoarding dollars because the value of the dollar is going up on over-speculation. Then you combine that with the fact tomorrow that if we have any more than a quarter-point interest rate from the Federal Reserve, we are going to see an increased value of the dollar even more, not just based on speculation, but based on the value of the interest rate going up. Because as I stated, folks, the Federal Reserve, the reason that they raise interest rates is so that the Federal Reserve can recall all those outstanding dollars that have been printed out with all their ridiculousness, quantitative easing and stimulus packages and all that crap. All right, they want to recall some of those dollars because there's a lot of printed out dollars that are circulating out here. And where those dollars are at, well, you're looking at it with this inflated goddamn stock market. A lot of the dollars are in there. A lot of all these circulated dollars, they're inflating these assets. So, unfortunately, I believe that the Federal Reserve is a little too late at this point in time to be raising interest rates, and that's why you've got the Trump administration trying to devalue the dollar, utilizing their political and economic tools within their disposal. For instance, Mnuchin, he's made it very public that he wants to raise the debt ceiling, and he asked Congress to do so. Now, why did Mnuchin do this? Remember, that wasn't very popular when the Democrats wanted to raise the debt ceiling. Remember, they shut down the government. Remember? Now all of a sudden, the right wants to increase the debt ceiling because, folks, Mnuchin is trying to make it public so that he can spook investors into getting rid of dollars. He's trying to devalue the dollar because he knows that if the dollar is too valuable, the United States is not going to be able to compete in the world market. You've got currencies right now that are very, very cheap, yet they're not necessarily trash, but they're cheap enough to be able to gainfully employ a whole factory of people at a cheaper rate than the United States. You're able to buy durable goods and material, capital goods, the whole nine, cheaper at another currency as opposed to the overvalued United States. So I know this is a lot of economic jargon I'm throwing at you. I'm trying to explain it as simple as possible because if you don't know this, then you're just going to accept whatever's being fed to you. So as I stated, folks, in my view, tomorrow, if by some chance, the Federal Reserve raises interest rate more than a quarter point, we are going to see some major waves in every market out there. And you know what? People are going to hold their currency even more. The U.S. dollar is going to be king. What did I tell you? I told all of you back in the day that cash was going to be king, and it is. Now, I don't think that's a long-term deal. As I stated, I think cash is going to be king here for the next maybe 3 to 4 quarters. I'm hoping, unfortunately, we're having a bunch of political disarray within the Republican Party, which we're going to get to here in a minute. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see those tax cuts that was proposed by Trump during his campaign because we can't even have these Republican jerk dicks even agree to any kind of policy, man, anything. They're all backstabbing each other. So with that being said, folks, this is really what kind of economic footing we are at this point in time. And this is why everything's a little uncertain. You've got investors out here not knowing what the hell they're doing. And that's why I keep telling you, if you're going to do anything, cash is king, baby. It's better to, and as I stated, it's better to hold cash in some savings account. And as I stated, folks, it's unfortunate that we're in a new day and age where you're having to pay the goddamn bank to hold your money. All right, I remember once upon a time, it wasn't that long ago, it was in the 80s, where the bank used to pay you, all right, so that they could hold your money. Anyway, folks, you're lucky at this point in time that you could just get a damn savings account where they don't charge you jack. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, if you could put in like one of these credit unions or one of these, kind of safer, kind of community-based banks in which, they're fairly fiscally conservative as it pertains to giving out loans and that sort of thing. You want to put your money in a savings account where they're not charging you a monthly fee to hold your damn money. If you can do that, then I think that you're ahead of the game. I mean, or less other options, a freaking safe and a gun. Let's put it that way. I mean, I'm not joking around. Cash is king right now, and when this damn market crashes, and let me tell you, if Janet Yellen lowers the interest rate tomorrow any higher than a damn quarter point, it may be the beginning of the pop of the stock market and potentially the real estate market. So that's why you want to hold on to your cash. That's why you want to accumulate as much of it as possible. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get to the markets today because it was reflected in the investment community here. Let's go ahead and get to it. We've got the Dow Jones Industrials here. Very weird chart today on the intraday chart. Little volatility, I have to admit. It wasn't very flat. I mean, you could have made a few bucks today in the day trading or pattern trade option here, but I mean, very weird. I mean, I don't know what to say about this chart. You could bet just the chart today. It says, I don't know what the hell to do. That's what it says to me. I mean, very, very weird. Anyway, Dow Jones Industrials was down today, 44.11 points. A percentage decrease of 0.21%, closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 20,837.37 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. I think this is a calm before the storm, boys. But, hey, let's just say for the sake of argument, right, that the Federal Reserve only raises it another quarter point. I think that it may be a love tap, and we may not see such a contraction tomorrow. I mean, that may make the investors feel funny in the pants and continue the bull market or drop. It may contract, but not contract to the point where you're going to see a drastic amount of value being lost out of the market. But that's only if Janet Yellen and the Federal Reserve raise interest rates just a quarter point more. That's it. But you heard the Federal Reserve in their latest reports, man. They want to rapidly facilitate these interest rates. And I think it's because of the market, in my opinion. I think that, in my view, the people that are in the Board of Governors and the Federal Reserve know that this market is ridiculous and something needs to calm it down. There's nothing justifying 20,000 Dow Jones Industrial. There is no profits. There are no forecasts of any profits. There's nothing justifying this. As I stated, folks, what this really is the investment community smoking crack. And secondly, there's just too much printed money. People are putting it everywhere, anywhere. They're putting it in stocks. They're putting it in real estate. I mean, look at the art market, for Christ's sake, man. People are purchasing freaking, Andy Warhols for $60 million? Are you kidding me? $60 million for some idiot who stenciled crap? I mean, give me a break.
Calling the beautifully redesigned 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA simply a four-door coupe is like describing a world-class athlete as just a good runner. With its sleek profile and powerful turbocharged engine, the CLA offers agility and design that are unmatched in its class, and it's available now at an exceptional price. Why drive any four-door coupe when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA? Visit MBUSA.com/CLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
But you see, $60 million, I mean, that just goes to show you that the rich, the people that have accumulated the cash during the stimulus package 2 giveaway that Barack Obama and the Democrats gave to their lackeys, which was the biggest wealth transfer in world history, they're the ones out here putting, making all these investments. They're the ones out here putting their money in this or putting their money in. I mean, you see what I'm saying, folks? they don't know where to put their money. I mean, they've got so much of it. They printed too much of it. I mean, stimulus package 2, quantitative easings, what was the other monetary policy method that they used? The twist. I mean, give me a break, man. I mean, the bottom line is they printed out too much money, and the people who have it are the very, very few. Let's be honest. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like some of these social justice warrior leftists here, but the reason that the very few right now have the wealth is because it was transferred by the Democrats. And the biggest trick in the book that the Democrats have done is make these social justice warrior snowflake leftist liberal morons believe that somebody else did it. I mean, I keep telling you people, read Stimulus Package 2. The biggest wealth transfer in world history, and it was passed by freaking Barack Obama and the Democrats. All right, and what did they give Black America? What did they give the minorities? What did they give the white trailer park trash? They gave them, little beans of food stamps and food cards, and oh yeah, we're gonna get your Obamacare, and yeah, that's what they gave them. And let's be honest, folks. All right. It's monopolization. Socialism is monopolization. It's the merging of corporations with government. And that's what we're witnessing right here. That's what this whole healthcare scheme is all about, man. It's the merging of private enterprise, corporatism, really, corporatism and government. And I think that this could, if it's any more than a quarter point, all right? Any more than a quarter point, I will... I don't think that it's going to be that much waves in the market. All right? I don't think there's going to be that much waves in the market. So anyway, with that being said here, we need some kind of contraction, though. We can't keep going with this facade that, the market's great and it's, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a bear here, but, I mean, I hate to sound like that old fart in, Wall Street 1. You got to stick to the fundamentals, bud. The fundamentals is where it's at. I mean, I hate to sound like this, but give me a break. This is a trap. I'm just saying, folks, I mean, you're better off just holding your cash in hand. I mean, literally, you're making money if you're holding your money right now. You're making money. What I mean by that, every day we're seeing increases in the value of the dollar, and that's based on speculation. Tomorrow, regardless of how much they raise interest rates, you're making money tomorrow. I mean, that's going to increase value to an already over-speculated dollar. I mean, you understand? Cash is king right now, baby. Anyway, let me continue going here. All right, we got the S&P 500 down today, 8.02 points, a percentage decrease of 0.34%, closing out the S&P at 2,365.45 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is also down today, folks, 18.97 points, a percentage decrease of 0.32%, closing out the NASDAQ at 5,856.82 points for the NASDAQ composite. All right, let's go ahead and get to the commodities here because, as we've been saying, folks, we see an increase in the dollar. What should we fundamentally see? We should see some decreases in the equities market, which we have just covered, and that's reflected as such. Let's see if we see a decrease in commodities, specifically metals, right? Now, before we get to metals, let's get to the energy sector. Now, what have I said about the energy sector? I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. But you see, folks, somebody is propping up this goddamn oil market, and it's obviously OPEC. It's obviously these oil producers. Take a look at the intraday chart on crude oil. It was crashing all day today based upon Saudi Arabia's output reports, which I've been telling you, these idiots aren't even obliging their own stupid supply cut. But take a look at that intraday chart. Doesn't that look ridiculously, pathetically manipulated, for heaven's sake? We were down all day today, and then here at the end of the day, we're going to go ahead and we're going to buy oil now. We're going to buy it ourselves. We don't care. Anyway, we've got WTI sweet crude up today a dime, but take a look at the intraday chart on that thing, man. That doesn't even make any sense. That does not even make any sense. Anyway, up a dime, up 10 cents, a percentage increase of 0.21%, closing out WTI sweet crude at $48.50 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. That's still under $50, man. That's not very good. I'm telling you, these oil producers that are I'm talking about Saudi Arabia, I'm talking about Venezuela, I'm talking about all these people that were used to these $80, $90, $100, $110 a barrel of oil that got rich off the high hog about 4 to 6 years ago. Now they're a little concerned. That's why, unfortunately, the socialism of Venezuela is collapsing on itself, because when you have dumbass bureaucrats central planning and assuming that the market is always going to be at $100 a barrel of oil, well, these idiots within the bureaucracy of the Venezuelan communist socialist government believe, well, they're going to continue to plan, and they central planned based upon the prices of $100 a barrel of oil sustaining itself for years. Hence, now that the goddamn barrel of oil is under $50, that's why you've got these people starving in the streets, all right? That's why Venezuelans are starving in the street. And the reason they're starving in the street, folks, is because the central planners in the communist socialist government of Venezuela anticipated and probably planned and budgeted based upon a projection of oil being at $90 to $100 a barrel of oil. Now that we've got barrels of oil at $48 and change, this is why you see these people starving in the streets out there in Venezuela. And you see, that's what you people that are out there, you social justice warrior idiots, need to understand. I know you think because you're professors that are obviously have a vested interest in having socialism, I know they tell you that it's such a grandiose idea in which everyone will have anything they want. They're going to have their iPads and iPhones if they want. It's crap. All right? What happens is you relinquish your own individual decision-making, and you give it to the state. That's what communism is. That's what socialism is. No doubts about it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Communism and socialism means that you relinquish your individual rights as a person. I mean, your rights to make a decision, your rights to what kind of path of life that you're going to take, what kind of occupation that you're going to want, what kind of schooling you're going to have, how much material possessions you're going to have, how much food you're going to eat, hence Venezuela. That's what communism and socialism is, and that's what you need to tell each and every one of these social justice warriors, is that you are giving up your ability to go out and protest, your ability to bitch and moan, your ability to go out and play on your iPhone or iPad or on your Android, your ability to go out and want a car, your ability to go out and consume in certain levels of entertainment. I mean, you relinquish all that to the state. You relinquish every decision that you're going to make in your life as an independent individual person. You give that to the state to centrally plan. You are a statistic within the realm of centralized planning and communism and socialism. You are a statistic. You are not a person. You are not a human being. I mean, don't you people understand? And listen, I hate to go into this, folks. I hate to go into this, but, man, I'm seeing way too many communists, way too many socialists out here, and we need to have serious discussions about what the hell this crap really is. What you dumbass communists and socialists don't understand is that there's a philosophy in back of communism that a lot of you simpletons, you don't even understand. It's so complicated and over your head because you people think that you're going to have a chicken in every pot and a Cadillac in every driveway in goddamn socialism or communism. But the philosophy of communism and socialism is dialectic materialism. Now, I've talked about dialectic many a times. It's that ability or the philosophy by Hegel, the philosophy in which you expose a contradiction and then you create a new reality based upon those exposed contradictions until that new reality gets exposed of its contradictions, and then forms a new reality until that reality is exposed of its contradictions, and so forth, until at some point, according to Hegel's dialectic philosophy, we will come to a point where we are at a contradiction-less society. All right? That's the simplest form of Hegel, because if you try to read it yourself, I doubt you'll understand it. That's the simplest form of Hegel, in the fact that, okay, we exposed the contradictions with the election of Trump of Washington, D.C. We exposed the contradictions of globalism. But now there's a new reality being put forth here, and there are contradictions being exposed within that reality, which is going to create another reality, and so forth. Now that you have a basic fundamental idea of what dialectic philosophy is, what's dialectic materialism, which is the philosophy of communists, the philosophy of socialists? Well, you combined Hegel's exposing a contradiction and creating a new reality, and then exposing the contradictions within that new reality and creating a new reality and so forth. You take that philosophy and you combine it with materialism. Now, in Marx's definition of dialectic materialism, he believes that the state can rapidly facilitate the time it's going to take from one contradiction and new reality to another. He believes through dialectic materialism that the state can rapidly facilitate Hegel's dialectic philosophy without having to wait for contradiction after contradiction after contradiction after contradiction. So with that philosophy was redefined by a man by the name of Vladimir Lenin, which we all know was the leader of the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. He interpreted dialectic materialism as utilizing the philosophy as the basis of being able to just make decisions as the state on who lives and who dies. I mean, for instance, Lenin made a lot of decisions for which he was going to reallocate certain grain and certain crop from the areas for which produced this within Russia and allocated it to the inner cities so that the inner cities could be well developed and well populated, well fed, and a well-oiled machine, while at the same time everybody who produced or actually made money or made a living on producing these crops ended up starving to death. All right, I think that Lenin starved about 8 million, 10 million people with his policy of one step forward, two steps back. He actually wrote and justified this crap. And he wrote and justified it based it upon the Hegelian dialectic. The dialectic materialism of communism and socialism. Dialectic materialism in which the state will rapidly facilitate Hegelian dialectics. Anyway, I know it's a bunch of complicated philosophical hooey, but let me tell you, that philosophy of dialectic materialism killed over at least 150, 200 million people, at least off of my guesstimation. I mean, Mao killed about 80 million people. You got Stalin, who killed about 50 to 60 million people. You've got Pol Pot, who killed about 10 million of his own freaking people. Ho Chi Minh. Jesus Christ, I could go on and on, man. But no, communism and socialism is great, right, you morons? Jesus Christ. Let me move on here. I'm getting a little too long-winded on this, but I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist, nor will I ever oblige that ridiculous ideology. And we need to get it in the heads of these goddamn stupid loser kids that, hey, oh yeah, you think you're a rebel? You think you're cool? You think you're an individual? You think that you can do what you want to do? You think you can go protest? You think you can mouth off in communism and socialism? No, you can't. You relinquish everything that you are as an individual. Every decision you'll ever make in your life, you relinquish it to the state. You relinquish it to the state. Anyway, let's get to Bread Crude, folks. My apologies. I didn't mean to go off on that soliloquy. but it was definitely something that needed to be said. We've got Brent crude up today, 38 cents, a percentage increase of 0.74%, closing out Brent crude at $51.73 per barrel of Brent crude oil. We've got gasoline up, ironically. All right, it is up 1.18% increase on the day for gasoline. That intraday chart looks interesting as well. Let's go ahead and get to the feast or famine commodity, natural gas. Wow, natural gas is down 3.12% decrease on the day for natural gas. That's why I call it the feast or famine commodity, man. I mean, you're either making serious money or you're losing serious money on this commodity each day. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we got heating oil up today, folks, 0.75%. And let me tell you, what a miraculous blizzard that many of our friends in the East Coast of America are having at this point in time. I mean, now, what is it? It's not global warming now. Now it's climate change. You know what, you idiots? I'm glad that Donald Trump appointed an EPA, a head of an EPA, who doesn't believe in this climate change nonsense. Yeah, the climate changes. You know, East Coast right now is having a blizzard, you know, right out here in San Antonio. I mean, it's such a beautiful day out here. I wanted to take the day off and play some golf, for Christ's sake. It's golf weather out here, man. This is golfing weather. I'm just great. It's a great springtime, for Christ's sake, man. I can hear the birds and the bees screwing. It's so goddamn great out here at the springtime. Anyway, let's get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals. According to somebody on Twitter, I think it was the Deplorable Troll, thank you, communism as a whole has killed an estimated 1.3 billion people. So I'm off by at least 12-fold or some crap. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Anyway, let's get to metals, shall we? Gold down today, which is reflective because we should see gold down if the increase of dollar goes up. Am I correct? That is correct. Gold is down $4.60, a percentage decrease of 0.38%, closing out gold at, ouch, 1,198.50 points for gold. And let me tell you, we're going to see it increasingly go down if the damn Federal Reserve raises interest rates beyond a quarter point tomorrow. I mean, we could see a header here. If it's a half a point, if it's 3/4 point, if it's a whole point, I'd be shocked. I mean, and not only will I be shocked, everybody in the damn markets will be shocked too, and you'll see it reflected tomorrow during the damn goddamn market day. Anyway, once again, we've got, let's get to silver. Silver is down. Silver is down today 9 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.54%, closing out silver at $16.88 per troy ounce of silver. Wow, man, I'm telling you, I mean, listen, in the end, I'm still bullish here, okay? Because I think that there's just too much uncertainty here for the investor in the long term to be secure in anything that's going to happen in the equities market or even in the real estate market, in my view. But we shall see, all right? We've got copper up today, 0.72% increase on the day for copper. Platinum up modestly, 0.02% increase for platinum. Let's go ahead and get to agriculture. Now, we're seeing a lot of anomalies here in the agriculture because we are seeing somewhat increase of the dollar, but I'm seeing a lot of grain in agriculture. And what does that mean? That means that the commodities traders obviously sense some level of scarcity within these commodities. So let's go ahead and get to them. At least for the time being, they do. So let's go ahead and get to grains, the grain index. We have corn up 0.35%. We've got wheat unchanged today, unchanged for wheat. Oats up 3.15% increase on the day. Good God. Man, all those people that like to eat oats, man, I'm telling you, you're going to pay for them today. I'll tell you that right now. Who else do we have here, folks? We've got rough rice down today, 1.02% decrease on the day. Soybean down 0.67%. We've got soybean oil up 0.56%. We've got canola down 0.71%. Let's go ahead and get to the soft, shall we? We've got cocoa up 2.03% increase on the day for cocoa. We've got coffee. Hey, dude, just don't talk to me, dude. Just don't talk to me until I have my coffee, dude. Shut up, you stupid, fruity-ass little hipster fruit. Shut up. Coffee is down today 0.77%. And let me tell you something right now. I want to take this opportunity once again to remind everybody to boycott Starbucks. Boycott Starbucks, that anti-American piece of trash company who is spitting on our troops, spitting on American people, spitting on the American poor by coming out and saying, oh, well, we're going to hire 10,000 illegal immigrants because, take that, Donald Trump. Boycott Starbucks, those stupid little fruits. Anyway, let's get to sugar, shall we? Sugar is down 0.11% decrease on the day. Orange juice is up today, folks. 1.45% increase on the day for orange juice. Cotton is up today, 0.36% increase on the day. We've got lumber down 0.06% decrease on the day for lumber. Rubber is down 0.65% decrease on the day. Ethanol down today, 0.91% decrease on the day. Let's go ahead and get to livestock. Now, right away, I'm looking at livestock, and I'm loving these numbers, baby. I'm loving this. I'm loving this cheap beef. I'm loving the cheap beef, man. I'm loving it. It is down. It is down today, folks. 1.11% decrease on the day for live cattle. Cattle feeder is also down today, 0.37%. So, hey, bring on the cheap beef, man. Bring on the tenderloin. Bring on the prime rib. Bring on the porterhouse. Come on. Bring on the New York strip, baby. Anyway, we got lean hogs. It continues to climb, folks. I mean, let me tell you, if you like pork, you're paying pork. I'll tell you, you're paying pork for pork. All right? Lean hogs is up 0.57% increase on the day for lean hogs. Now, before we get done with the market, let's go ahead and get to the current price of Bitcoin. I hope that you folks heeded my call when I suggested that when Bitcoin contracted, when the ETF, the Exchange Traded Fund that was initiated by the Winklevoss twins, when it was put up on the stock market and they rejected it by the SEC, I suggested that it may be a little blip and that this particular cryptocurrency will continue to increase in value based upon the fact that we have so many countries that want to eliminate physical and tangible cash. Venezuela has already done it. How convenient. We've got Taiwan starting to currently do it. We've already got India already in a cashless society. We've got all these countries. We're talking about the EU. The EU's talking about it. Now, with that being said, folks, I would like to remind everybody when I talk about this that the United States cannot, and I repeat, cannot go to a cashless society. The first people that will be affected in a cashless society will be the poor and the small business. And that's exactly what's being reflected right now in the experiment of cashless society in India right now. I'm reading reports that every small business that was fledgling out there, because they actually had people with cash in their pockets, all right? I mean, all of a sudden now, we've got, the point I'm trying to make is this, all right? We cannot have a cashless society. I'm disturbed by this. I'm telling you, I am mentally disturbed by the fact that we are going to have cashless society. Because, look, when I first came to San Hambonio, okay, I was approached by some barefoot Mexican kid with a box of candy apples while I was waiting on a goddamn red light, okay? Now, that kid, obviously, I'd have to pay him in a goddamn cash, tangible cash. You know, and that kid's probably trying to make him, his family, himself, someone, some capital so that they could sustain themselves. In a cashless society, you wouldn't be able to have folks to do that. They would be the first ones affected in a cashless society, folks, and that's why we can't do it. All right? I mean, you're talking about hurting the poor more than anybody else. Get rid of cash. You want to talk about hurting small business even more, get rid of cash. And that's why I'm telling you, folks, America cannot go down this direction. And I want to just remind everybody this. We can't do it. All right? That's why cryptocurrencies are all of a sudden becoming a valuable option, because now you've got governments that actually want to regulate. They want to take out cash. And you know what that means, folks, when a government takes away your ability to have tangible cash? That means that they want to know every transaction in a country. Every little transaction they are going to have a record of, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, you have no economic privacy. They want to dictate our economic freedom. That's what getting rid of tangible cash means, folks. Always remember it. Always remember it. By taking away tangible cash, they are getting rid of our economic freedom. And that the freaking government becomes the overlords of every transaction that happens in the United States, and we can't make that happen. We cannot let that happen. Anyway, folks, let's go ahead and get to Bitcoin. And the reason I suggested that, people would have heeded my call in the fact that that little ETF, was it what could you call the flash dip? I guess you could call it a flash dip. Post-Winklevoss rejected ETF for Bitcoin. I knew it would come back because, man, there's too many people or too many countries in this international community getting rid of cash. So as a result, let's go ahead and get to the price of Bitcoin. It is, of course, way above the price of gold right now, which is unbelievable. A cryptocurrency worth more than gold, baby. Anyway, folks, right now, Bitcoin is at $1,250.22 per Bitcoin, man. Good God. Good God. Oh my God! And let me tell you something right now, folks. I mean, that's beyond gold right now. That's beyond gold. $1,250.22. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, folks, that, my friends, is the markets for your ass. All right. Now, with that being said, folks, let's just go ahead and go right into some Twitter shout-outs. And for you folks that are unaware, all you've got to do is retweet the first tweet on my Twitter account right now. The Twitter account is PoliticsGhost. All one word, no underscores, PoliticsGhost, and retweet the tweet that states True Capitalist Radio Live. That's True Capitalist Radio Live. If you retweet that tweet, I will give you a Twitter shout-out live right here on the broadcast right here and now. And once again, I do want to remind everybody that I did mail out all the autographs out there for Mr. Fortune Cookie and Optimism. I want to thank everybody who participated in it. Obviously, this show is getting a more serious direction. And the troll show on Saturdays, because so many people bought fortune cookies, man. There was a lot of people that bought fortune cookies that were not typical buyers. And I want to thank those people because y'all bought your way into a whole new show on Saturday night, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Of course, on the same website, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. All right, that's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And, every Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, the Saturday Night Troll Show. Anyway, do we got any Twitter shout-outs to be had for True Capitalist Radio there, engineer? All right, well, let's go ahead and get to some Twitter shout-outs right now. All right, who do we got here? We got the Green Leader. What's going on to the Green Leader? We've got Cuck Lives Matter. What's going on to Capitalist Kush? How you doing? We've got Kingfish in the place. What's going on to Kingfish? Guido Capitalist. What's going on to Guido Capitalist? Veteran Capitalist in the house. We've got Snow White in the place. What's going on to Snow White? Deep saturated ham bone. Oh, yeah, here we go. Listen, you people, what y'all did to me on Friday was... I was going to curse there, but what you all did to me on Friday was bull crap. All right? And I listen, you're lucky I even came back. I'm going to tell you that right damn now. I deserve more respect than what you all gave me on Friday, and I don't want to talk about it, for Christ's sake. We got, right off the bat, look at this, Butterball Friday. Oh, yeah, that's great, yeah. Hey, we got Capitalist Mao. What's going on to Capitalist Mao? How you doing, man? We got Popeye in the house. What's going on? We got Metroid Junkie in the place. We got Lego Fan 420. What's going on? Once again, retweet the tweet that states True Capitalist Radio Live, and I'll give you a Twitter shout-out live right here on the broadcast right here and now. Who else do we have here? We've got Petro in the place, Zach Goodman in the house, Freezing Zakata. We've got, what was this, Bernardo. What's going on to Bernardo? We got the Brody Network in the place. We got Dorito Burrito. There's Twilly Atkins. Yeah, I really like that. Do you want to ride the white horse? I really like that there, Twilly, you freaking bitch horse. Anyway, we've got the Smiler in the house. We've got Howdy Ho Ghost Lows. What the hell does that mean? And is that a picture of Urkel in your goddamn profile, for Christ's sake? Can I do that? I mean, give me a freaking break. We got Pipes in the house. We got CDI Fan 237. We've got, I'm not going to say that disgusted name, for Christ's sake. You people are disgusted. We've got Happy Butter Friday. Shut up. Happy Butter Friday. Yeah, shut up. Anyway, we got Dr. Bristle in the place, Supa in the house. We got Ann and the Wizard. 5 days till the real show. Look, assholes, don't pit my shows against each other. Do you understand that? Don't you dare, you troll terrorist. You've got your own show. Don't you dare pit them against each other. God damn it. I mean, I'm working 6 days a week. Do you understand that? I'm the hardest working man on the internet today. And don't you ever goddamn forget it. There's nobody that produces the type of live content. And this is live, baby, okay? I know some people listen to the podcast. I appreciate it. But I am live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm also live on Saturday with a Saturday Night Goddamn Troll Show at 5:30 p.m., for Christ's sake, man. 6 days a week I'm broadcasting. I'm the hardest working man in the internet today. Good God. Who else do we have here? We've got Twitter 2, Trump and 0. Look, don't make fun of Trumpin', all right? And for you folks that are unaware, Trump and Capitalist has been banned from Twitter for the past couple of times because he's been writing about Pizzagate, and for whatever reason, Twitter keeps banning him and just completely banning any of his Twitter names, and I think that's pretty sick. We may have to go over to Gab. As a matter of fact, I strongly advise everybody, go to the Twitter alternative just in case, because remember, we had this little fruit bowl Lucian Wintrich try to lock me out of my goddamn Twitter account. Just in case they try to ban me, get on Gab, baby, all right? Type in your browser, gab.ai, and follow me under the same name, Politics Ghost, all right? I mean, just in case Twitter sends the Twitter police at me again. Anyway, who else do we have here? We got Tornado of Vibrators, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. The Chimp Bago Choo Choo. What the hell is that? Shut up! Shut up! Stop making me say crap like that. The Inner Circle ruined TCR. No, what the hell are you talking about? What do you think? Those are my friends. Wait. Son of a bitch. What are you talking about? The Inner Circle ruined TCR. What are you talking about? I mean, my ratings have never been better, all right? I'm telling you this right now. My ratings have never been better. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm being listened to by tens of thousands of people throughout the world. My ratings have never been better, Milky Lickers, all right? So don't try to come at me with any of that garbage, all right? Give me the damn mic. Give me the mic. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, we got Sergeant Yoda in the place. Don't come at me like that again. The Inner Circle are my friends. They're my family. What are you talking about? Don't you dare.
Calling the beautifully redesigned 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA simply a four-door coupe is like describing a world-class athlete as just a good runner. With its sleek profile and powerful turbocharged engine, the CLA offers agility and design that are unmatched in its class, and it's available now at an exceptional price. Why drive any four-door coupe when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA? Visit mbusa.com/CLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Jesus Christ, we got Dank McGrank. What's going on? We got Lando Lakes capitalists. Really, you idiots? Shut up, all right? It's not the butter. Shut up. We got Artron Havoc, Agent Gabe. Oh, yeah, the bronies are still doing this agent stuff. They think it's so funny that the CIA Internet Division are a bunch of brony, anime, cartoon fetish, Pop-Tart eating fruits. That's just great. We got Remington in the house. What's going on? We got. I'm not gonna say these stupid, disgusting names. I can already see where the hell you're going with these, you dumb freaks. We got Mark Montag in the house. Who else do we have here? We got Ethiopia is garbage. What the hell? Why would you say something like why? What the hell? Was Ethiopia in the news today? Why would you even? Oh my God. We got Lucian 1, Ghost 0. What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Lucian 1, Ghost 0? That boy, all right, knows better now. He knows who the hell the capitalist right is now. I'll tell you that right goddamn now. Lucian Wintrich knows who the capitalist right is. I'll tell you that. Hey, Richard Spencer knows who the capitalist right is. I'll tell you that right goddamn now. The capitalist right is rising from the ashes of the alt-right, you son of a bitch. And you are witnessing it right before your very eyes. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you better remember it. You better never forget it, boy. We got Raiden Snake. What's going on? We got Chris Hyde in the place. What's going on, man? Look what I Jewed. Look what I Jewed. You son. Damn it. Shut up. Look, man, enough of the Jew jokes already. I don't appreciate it. All right? Stop with the Jew jokes. God damn it, you anti-Semitic pieces of crap. You're gonna get me yanked off the air, man. You're gonna get me yanked off the. You son of a bitch. You're gonna get me yanked off the air, man. Enough of the Jew jokes, all right? I am not a Jew. I use yarmulkes for coffee filter. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Give me the mic. I use yarmulkes for coffee filters. Enough of it, all right? Enough of the goddamn Jew joke. And look, here's another one. Agent Shekel. Here's another one. A day without shekels. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? A day without shekels. What the hell does that mean? Jesus Christ. We got Xbox's real work. Jesus Christ. Who else do we have here? We got Santa Ana didn't do nothing. What the? Shut up! We kicked that Mexican back across the border where he belonged, boy. And we got the TCR Arabian Prince. How you doing, the Arabian Prince? It's good to see you. I'm glad that you're still listening, and you didn't, take personal any of the stuff that happened. Look, we don't want to talk about it. What's going on to the TCR Arabian Prince? How you doing? We've got the CIA buttered me up. Ugh. You son of a Christ. Man, you're just not going to let this butter thing go, are you, man? I mean, you freaking troll terrorist and cyber vermin. You're just not going to let this crap go, are you? Shut up about the butter, all right? Shut up about the goddamn butter. Jesus Christ. Give me the mic. Mic. Goddamn mic. Shut up about the butter. I'm warning you. Anyway, we got Boogeyman in the house. What's going on to Boogeyman? We got Distilling Capitalist in the place. The Butterhood of Steel. What? Shut up. All right, just shut up. Yellow Butter of Tech. Look, shut up. Shut up with the butter crap. Good God, man. Dead Crockett, Best Crockett? Oh, you son of a... What have I told you, goddamn troll terrorist and cyber vermin? I've told you not to make fun of the Texas martyrs. Don't you dare desecrate the memory of the Texas martyrs, boy. God damn it, man. Jesus, give me the mic. Give me the mic. Good God, man. Don't make fun of the Texas martyrs. Anyway, we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me, regardless of what's happened in the damn Twitter shout-outs today. Before we get started, folks, I'd like to everybody to please add to your bookmarks and your favorites our latest media project, ghost.report. That's all you have to type in your browser. You just have to type in ghost.report. That is our new media project. We are going to be delivering news. I know that there are people actually inquiring about being potential correspondents, and I am going to try to get in contact with each and every one of you as quick as I possibly can. I truly do appreciate everybody who wants to, basically kind of throw their hat in the ring and try to help get this project off the ground, because I think that everybody out there understands that right now the media, as we know it, is dying. I'm talking the mainstream media, and those of us that actually believe in what we say and say what we mean and actually want to deliver true information, true knowledge, true news, true content, we're going to have to do it ourselves, and we do it from a grassroots level. And what we want to do is we want to be able to deliver content, original content to folks that actually want to read, that will actually better themselves, that will actually enlighten themselves, that will actually, make themselves have a different perspective, think, thought-provoking, that sort of thing. So please add to your bookmarks or your favorites the official media project, the new media project that we have going on. It is ghost.report. Type that in your browser, ghost.report. Anyway, folks, look, I'm only going to take a couple more of these Twitter shout-outs, and then I'm moving on because these people are starting to piss me off. All right, now look at this. Yeah, Inner Butter Circle. Inner Butter Circle. Yeah, shut up. shut up. Did I Jew that? And look, there's Steve Urkel in the freaking, did I Jew that? That's freaking it. You know what? That's it. All right? You know, this is why we can't have nice things. Do you get that now? I say that every time, but you get it, right? This is why we can't have nice things, all right? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Oh, my God. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, folks, look, we're going to have to move on here because, to be honest with you, I want to get to the crux of the subject matters of this broadcast. And before we move on, I'd like to remind everybody right now, please retweet, please go to the social networks, please go to the forum post, the chat rooms, and spread it around like wildfire that True Capitalist Radio is live right here, right now, and we are live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And, of course, if you haven't done so, please follow me on Twitter. All right, the Twitter name to follow, Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. Now, we've gotten that all out of the way. Let's go ahead and get right into the crux of the subject matter, folks. I hope that you are all spreading it around like wildfire right now because we're about to get into we are going to get into the idea of this Russia narrative. Now, let's take a step back before I start presenting evidence that shows that Russia, yeah, it's here in America. Yeah, it's influencing media. It's influencing elections. It's influencing a lot of stuff. But guess who brought these people here? Guess who allowed them to come here? The Democrats, Obama. And not only did they allow these people to come here, they allowed them to come here and set up a spy network that, with all due respect, folks, I'm going to tell you this right now, is based in Silicon Valley. That's right. Sources inside the FSB that I have come in contact with have told me that there is a company inside Silicon Valley that is the base of Putin's spy network within the United States of America. And how did it get there, folks? How did it get there? What, did Trump put these people there? Did Trump allow these people into the country? No. Now, before I get to all that, what I want to do here is I want to go briefly how we got to this Russia narrative. Folks, this Russia narrative started gaining traction once we started getting closer and closer to the election. Right around November, October is when you started having the media started talking Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump. They pushed this narrative, and the reason they pushed this narrative, with all due respect, folks, is because they had inside information from within the intelligence community that was gathered illegally, all right, because lest we forget, folks, it was documented, I believe, on the either Washington Post or the New York Times, that there were 2 FISA requests by the Obama administration to survey Trump through wiretapping and other methods of surveillance, extreme intelligence community surveillance. The first FISA attempt at a FISA warrant was in June of 2016. That particular FISA warrant was denied by the FISA courts. So what the Obama administration did was loosen up some of the wording in that FISA request, and as a result, they were granted the FISA request in October. And you you see, that's right around the time in which we started hearing this narrative that was being shaped by the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, all these jerkasses. They started putting this narrative in the American perspective. Trump, Russia, Russia, Trump, Trump, Russia, Russia, Trump. And you see, this is why they know that these particular individuals that have already been compromised because they happen to be communicating with the Russian ambassador, the same Russian ambassador that the Democrats have met up with, for Christ's sake. I mean, the Kremlin has come out and said that the freaking Democrats met and had integral freaking relations, integral conversations about foreign policy, you name it, with this damn Russian ambassador that has already taken the career of Michael T. Flynn and has already compromised to a certain capacity Jeff Sessions. Now, with that being said, folks, they have utilized this Russia narrative to basically set up the inner circle of Donald Trump. Now you've got Donald Trump surrounded by sharks, as I've stated before. Didn't I say, folks, that Priebus and Pence were the establishment lackeys that were doing everything within their power to undermine the administration? Lest we forget, folks, the reason General Michael T. Flynn lost his position was because, for whatever reason, Mike Pence decided to go on the Sunday shows and insisted that nobody within the administration had ever had any contact of any kind with any Russian foreign official or agent. Now, why the hell would he do that? He did that to set up Michael Flynn so that Michael Flynn would have to remove himself from his position of authority. Because, like I said, folks, it's not really what the facts are in America and political science. Do you get that now? It's not about the facts. It's about perspective. It's about what people believe the facts are. And you see, the intelligence community has tried, and it's actually been fairly successful in linking Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump, Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump. And it's in the minds of everybody now that Joe Sixpack has it in his head that, yeah, you know, I think Trump may have done something with the Russians there. You know, some kind of business deal. He's not telling us. Yeah. Seriously. Folks, I'm going to tell you something right now. What I'm about to unleash here, and this is exclusive. Look, nobody has this information. I got this directly from FSB contacts, and the reason they contacted me, folks, is because they know that I know the two individuals that got banned that were a part of the FSB, that were actually secretly a part of the underground hacker club, or crew, I should say, called Shultai Boltai, all right? And Shultai Boltai, I'm going to tell you this right now, has accumulated a massive amount of data on the Russian government. And let me tell you something. The only reason that it hasn't been dumped yet is because the last few remaining individuals that belong to this hacker crew that are still integrated within the FSB are utilizing it potentially to save their life, okay? But the bottom line is this, all right? The bottom line is that Vladimir Putin, he is purposely making himself look like some big-time, valiant, strong man in international affairs, when in actuality, folks, nobody really wants this man in power within Russia. He has basically robbed everybody blind. Did you read the report here recently that this asshole, Vladimir Putin, is worth somewhere between, $200 billion? $200 billion? And you want to know why he's worth $200 billion? Because he just robbed it. He did communist style. Remember when he kicked out the West and kicked out everybody out of the country, kicked out the Russian oligarchs? He took their money. He took their money. Now, with that being said, folks, well, where is Vladimir Putin spending his money? Vladimir Putin's got to be spending his money somewhere, right? $200 billion. Well, let me tell you something, folks. It's no coincidence that you've had so many Russian diplomats and Russian officials conveniently dying out of nowhere, okay? I reported, last week, that Putin has fired 10 of his top generals within his own military. I mean, that doesn't sound like somebody who's very secure in his domestic homeland, and the reason that he's still there and has not been assassinated himself from within the system is because he has won over Mr. and Mrs. Joe Vodka out there in Russia. And that's the only reason why Putin at this point in time is still alive, in my opinion, okay? Now, with that being said, what is Putin spending his money on? Well, he has to spend his money on his own personal security. He has to pay for his own intelligence. I'm telling you, how easy was it for the Shotai Boltai to be integrated in the FSB? The FSB is what the KGB was back in Soviet Russia, all right? I'm serious. I mean, how are they able to be integrated into the FSB? I'm telling you, nobody likes Putin in Russia. Now, with that being said, who's keeping Putin in power? I know a lot of people out there on the internet like to claim that Russia is anti-globalist and they're fighting the New World Order. I know this dumbass idiot Alex Jones always says it. I know all these other people that are within the alt-right always say it. But I'm telling you this right now, folks, and I will continue to say this, Russia is at the bottom of the goddamn globalist takeover of this world, okay? I mean, do you understand that it all came out of Soviet Russia? I mean, Lenin called the Third International, and for you communists, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He called and convened the Third International in Russia and contrived the whole globalist takeover of the goddamn world by communism. Now, the reason that Russia is at the bottom of this, but not necessarily leading the whole idea of the globalist system, is because right now Russia is in competition with China being at the head of the globalist system. I mean, we all talked about it in January when the World Economic Forum convened in Davos, Switzerland. Who did they have as their keynote speaker? The freaking Chinese president. And what did he say in that speech? China will defend the global order. China will make sure that America does not disrupt the global order. I mean, acting as if these guys are... Wake up, man. And you see, that's why Russia and China, on face value, they look like allies because they're both kind of ex-commies, but there is an underlying credibility fight between China and Russia on who is exactly going to lead the global order into existence. And right now, each and every one of the big globalist players want China. And Russia, with Putin, is trying to insist himself as the leader of the globalist order. But make no doubt about it, he's a part of it. They're all a part of it. I mean, the basis of the globalist system is order out of chaos. So these people all have some level of order amongst each other. It's much like the mafia. The New York Mafia had something called the Commission, in which all the heads of the families would convene at this centralized location in an attempt to have some kind of mafia-style diplomacy. But even though they would all convene at this kind of commission, I mean, they would still not necessarily want each other alive. They wouldn't want each other in existence. I mean, it's order out of chaos. Now, with that being said, folks, let me get into what I'm going to break here. This is breaking. This is exclusive. And for you independent journalists, right now what I'm about to do is I'm about to give you breadcrumbs to where if you do some searching, it'll all come clear to you that not only did the Democrats plan with Putin, okay, and I'm making this allegation straight up, and I'm going to make it. Not only did they plan with Putin to have this facade of a nuclear confrontation between the Democrats and Russia, but they are also helped Russia create the spy network that is currently operating within the boundaries of the United States of America. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the spy network that I'm speaking of, folks, because I think everybody wants to get down to the nitty-gritty, okay? Now, first and foremost, before I say the company in which is the centralized spy network of Russia. And this is out of my sources, okay? All right, this is a legitimate sources. I'm not pulling this out of my derriere, okay? But I'll just say it's my opinion, just in case, the people that I am going to implicate want to sit here and suggest that I am committing some level of libel or slander. So I'm just going to say, for legalese purposes, that this is my opinion, but you can look it up for yourself. All right, you can look all this stuff up for yourself and have your mind blown, okay? First and foremost, we have a lot of Russian people that have just happened to have just come into the country within the past 8 years or so. They've been given unprecedented access, and they've been granted visas to stay and live and bring their Russian money over and buy influence within the systems and so on and so forth, okay? Now, the first person I want to, let me put it to you like this. Let's talk about the company in which I'm talking about. Now, according to my sources, and this is coming from the FSB, that the spy network of Vladimir Putin, and of course, I'm going to say this is just my opinion, just, for legalese purposes, is a company out of Silicon Valley called Runa Capital. Now, what is Runa Capital, you ask? And hell, it's located in Silicon Valley. I mean, you know how much it costs to have any kind of a business, let alone a residence at Silicon Valley? Runa Capital is a venture capitalist firm. Now, you're asking yourself, well, that doesn't say anything, Ghost. I mean, it's a venture capitalist firm from Russia. What's wrong about that? What's so wrong about that? All right? Well, first and foremost, folks, you need to realize who's comprised within this Runa Capital. I'd like for you all to look up a woman by the name of Masha Drokova. Masha Drokova. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tweet an article that is in Russian, but proves, okay? But proves right here. Hold on, let me put a hashtag on this, like Russia. Hold on just here. I'm sorry, folks. I'm doing, two things at once. Spy network affiliate here. Sorry, folks. I'm doing two things at once, but I definitely want people. I want people to know what's going on here. Okay, now let me go ahead and put out this article of who Masha Drokova is. Okay, here's one about this person. Okay. Here's another one about Masha Drokova. And let me go ahead and read this one off of BusinessInsider.com. The one that I just tweeted right there that is Russian basically goes to say that she was a part of the Kashi movement, I believe it was, in which she was a pro-Russia, a pro-Putin advocate. All right? And let me go ahead and read. This is at the Business Insider. All right. I believe this is the top 50 tech people or something. I don't know, something like that. Top 50 PR representative or some garbage. She's number 46, Masha Drokova, independent PR consultant. Masha Drokova is 24 years old. Oh, a little 24-year-old, huh? And her life story is bananas, as former Business Insider tech reporter Dylan Love describes. She was the subject of a documentary about Vladimir Putin's rise to power. Let me repeat that one more again. She was the subject of a documentary about Vladimir Putin's rise to power in Russia called Putin's Kiss. And believe it or not, the reason they call it Putin's Kiss is because there is a clip within this movie in which she kisses Putin, okay? She kisses Putin because Putin gives her the ability and the papers to go and travel and live, which she currently now does in the United States of America. Okay? Now, let me go ahead and continue on. She also serves as a master at social media. With over 30,000 Twitter followers, she says, I even found my previous job, Runa Capital, in Twitter. Oh, yeah? How was that possible? Huh? A 24-year-old Ruski girl who happens to be a part of this documentary of Putin's rise to power. Literally, it's a historic moment in Russian history, Putin's kiss. I mean, she kisses Putin for giving her the freaking papers to come over here to the United States. Now, okay, she was given papers by Putin. How the hell did she get here? Who let her in here? The Obama administration let this woman in here. Okay? You understand? The Obama administration. The democratically dominated Congress. And yet they're going to point to Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia. Now listen, I'm not saying anything about this woman. I'm just saying I find it rather weird. In the article in which I talk about this Media Leaks article, if you translate it, even the guy from Russia that's writing this can't believe that she was just able to go in, have a green card. She's living off the high hog. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? Now, here we are. And, we're doing multi-million dollars worth of business in America now. 24-year-old Ruski. Like, that doesn't cause any red flags at the fucking CIA, excuse my French, at the FBI, or any of this crap. Some 24-year-old Ruski chick. I'm going to continue on. She specializes in PR for tech companies just entering the U.S. market from Europe and Russia and Turkey. Well, no crap. And as young as she is, has an impressive client list. And it names all these other companies that she has clients. She on her Twitter, folks, she calls herself an angel investor. How the hell did this woman get all this money? How does she get her job on Twitter? I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? Let me continue going, because this is not, I'm not finished, all right? I'm not finished. Let's talk about some other people here. Let's talk about Ashop Gabraniov, or whatever the hell his stupid name is, all right? Now, for you folks that don't, what the hell is his name? Gabrielinov, all right? Ashot Gabrielinov, excuse me, I don't know how to pronounce these stupid vodka-drinking, cockeyed Russian idiots' names. But Ashot, young Russian hotshot, despite working for several years on the state TV channel brainwashing Russians to hate America and blaming USA for everything, he now lives in the United States. Oh, isn't that great? And he is the son to the media conglomerate owner of the state-run television in Russia. And we've got this idiot living in the United States. Here it is. Let me go ahead and tweet this guy. Ashot, what the hell is his freaking name? Ashot Gabrielinov, whatever the hell his stupid, dumb, cockeyed Russian name is. All right? And guess where this guy, where is he from? Oh, yeah, Russia. He's close to Putin. His dad owns the goddamn state-run television in Russia. Now, guess what? He's 26 years old living in some freaking hipster Brooklyn freaking penthouse somewhere thinking that he's doing something in the hipster leftist community. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me go ahead and post this particular article about this guy, Ashot Gabrielinov. Excuse me if I don't know how to pronounce these goddamn Ruski names, but I don't really care. But the reason I'm talking about these people is because you all just need to research these people. Look at these people. Look at who Runa Capital invests in. What kind of technologies does it have under its control? All right? And why? And does it have anything to do with snooping or spying or face recognition or anything of that? I'm just saying. This is my opinion, but I'm just saying. Now let's continue on, shall we? Here is Ashot Gabrielinov. Here he is right here. He is in, what is this freaking stupid, dumbass, ridiculous publication? He was in Mashable. Here he is right here. 26-year-old little hot shot. Huh? Daddy runs Russia's state-run television, worked there, produced a lot of these anti-American pieces for Russian television to consume, for Christ's sake. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying here, folks? And guess what? Guess what connects all these people? The alleged Russian spy network within the United States, Runa Capital. Yeah. I mean, let's continue going. I've got so much information about what's going on as it pertains to Russia's influence on America. I can go all night. I'm just throwing you guys breadcrumbs so that if you independent journalists do the work and you realize it, you can unearth one of the biggest stories that has been pulled over the eyes of the American people, and that's the Democrats initiating this whole lie about this Russia narrative when they helped create the spy network within the United States of America, whether indirectly or directly. And that's a fact. Now, let's continue going on. Now, let's go to somebody that was in the United States that was the managing director of Runa Capital. All right. The former director, the directing manager of Runa Capital, this guy by the name of Ramil Ibragimov. Okay, let's go ahead and put him up there because I think what's very interesting was that Ramil Ibragimov, not only was he the managing director of this particular company, Runa Capital, but he also thought that the guy and the lunatic that did the Pulse nightclub shootings, Omar Mateen, he actually thought that this guy was a hero and commented on his social media that he wished that Omar Mateen would have killed them all. Okay? So let's continue on. This is the managing director of Runa Capital. This guy's tweeting that he wished that Omar Mateen would have killed more people. Here he is right here, okay? This right here. Boom. Okay? Right there. Now, with this being said, folks, the reason I'm kind of naming names out here, there are more names I can name here, but let's be honest. I want people that are out there listening and that actually want to get down to the bottom of this. I've given you enough breadcrumbs to let you know who these people are. I mean, how did these people get into the country? How are these people living in this country? I mean, these people are directly related to Putin, all right? Gabrielinov, his dad owns Russian state television, all right? Ramil Ibragimov, whatever the hell, he wanted the freaking Omar Mateen to kill more people at the Pulse shooting nightclub, for Christ's sake, man. How are these people in the country? Who let them in? Who let them in the country? Obama, the Democrats, all right? So, once again, folks, all right, this is my opinion, but according to my FSB contacts within Russia, that this Runa Capital is the center spy network that directly reports to Putin. And why FBI, why the CIA, why any of the intelligence community has not got these people under surveillance, if not putting these people on a plane back to Russia at the very minimum, I think they should be arrested. I mean, how come they're being able to run amok? How come they're able to run amok? Who gave them their visas? What kind of visas do they have? Why were they able to kind of, if they're supposedly coming from a country that's belligerent towards America, that America has sanctions on, how come they let the son of the guy who owns the state-run media to come into this goddamn freaking country? How come they let the girl that was behind the Putin's Kiss movie, all right, which was a movie about Vladimir Putin's rise to power, she was a central figure in that crap. That's why it's called Putin's Kiss, because she kissed Putin. She was like, thank you very much, I love you. I mean, this broad, of all people, this broad kissed Putin. I mean, what the hell? And last but not least, folks, and then I'm going to move on to another subject matter, because I don't want to delve into this anymore, because what I just unraveled, in my view, was something that was very secret within the Russian intelligence, and I believe that I've just made myself a target by the Russian FSB or any kind of intelligence agency as far as I'm concerned. But that's why I'm just giving breadcrumbs here. You guys go out there, investigate these people, investigate Runa Capital, investigate who they own. I mean, they have a actual location in Silicon Valley and Moscow. Yeah, they've got a location in Silicon Valley and Moscow, and yet you've got Democrats talking garbage out here about Russia, Trump. You got the mainstream media talking about Russia, Trump. Are you kidding me? So once again, folks, that right there, go ahead and investigate. Runa Capital is the spy network of Russia's intelligence gathering and influence on America that's based in Silicon Valley. And that's all there is to it. All right? I mean, I think that Runa Capital should be investigated thoroughly. And listen, this is my opinion. Once again, I mean, I'm just saying this because it's my view. But I've actually had contacts with people from, and this is the truth, folks. I am not lying. I've been contacted by somebody from inside Russia, and they have informed me on these particular connections and have informed me about other things. And I'm telling you this right now: we need to spread this around like wildfire. We need to connect the Democrats to Runa Capital. We've got to connect the Democrats to any of these people, and we've got to run with it. We've got to make freaking articles, blogs, whatever the case might be. Because I'm telling you, folks, I'm not joking around when I say that Russia is at the bottom of all this globalist garbage. And if it wasn't, wouldn't you think that it would act like North Korea? If it was like truly a communist nation that wanted to be against globalism. North Korea doesn't have a central bank. North Korea doesn't affiliate with the United Nations, doesn't acknowledge the World Court, it doesn't acknowledge any of this garbage. I mean, wouldn't a true anti-globalist be doing that? I mean, Russia, it still goes to the G20 summit, the G8 summit. All right? I mean, it still goes to the United Nations, all right? I mean, it still obliges the World Court, for Christ's sake. I mean, Putin, every time that he says something against the West, he quotes what? International law is what he quotes. International law. So for all you people that are out here just trying to spread this falsehood, all right, because it's false, that Vladimir Putin is against globalism, you're an idiot. All right, you're an absolute moron. And it's obvious that you have already been psyoped into believing that, Vladimir Putin, which is what is he, like 5'6", $150 or something, that this guy is somehow some big badass Superman or something. Give me a break. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, once again, folks, I mean, that's there it is right there. I've given you some breadcrumbs on the Russian spy network in the United States, Runa Capital. I've given you a few folks that just conveniently are very, very close to Putin, and yet were able to come here, and they're still living here. They're still living here! And yet, Russia, Trump, Russia, right? Oh, yeah, get shove it up your ass, McCain and freaking Graham and McConnell and Ryan and you Democrats, all you establishment idiots. You gotta be removed. You're corrupt. You could care less about the American people. You care more about your political class system and maintaining the status quo. You should all be removed from power. You don't represent the American people. You represent yourselves and your globalist masters. You represent yourselves and who else? George Soros, right?
Yes. I am George Soros, and I pay everybody in Washington, D.C., and I pay every the groups that go out in America, and they're going out and doing the violence and doing the graffiti and doing all the burning down of the black neighborhoods. I do it. I'm the one who gives the money. And you want to know why I give the money? Because America is mine. Everything is mine. America is mine. All the Washington, D.C. politicians are mine. All the black people are mine. All the homosexuals are mine. Everything is mine. Because I am George Soros. And I will show you true power. I should have died years ago, but I'm alive. Because the world is mine. Your 50, 30 children are mine. Russia is mine. America is mine. Europe is mine. Everything is all mine.
I'm serious. That's the globalist master right there, man. That's the James Bond supervillain right there. George Soros, all right? Jesus Christ, man. Wake up. I mean, you got supposedly Putin putting out some kind of a warrant out for freaking George Soros. He can kill his double agent spies living in England somewhere under 24-hour surveillance, and yet he can't touch Soros. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. People are being psyop. Jesus Christ. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to talk about this anymore, right? Let's move on to the next subject matter. All right, the next subject matter I want to talk about something I disagree with Donald Trump about. That's right, man. I do not agree with this goddamn Ryan Care, okay? I'm sorry. This Ryan Care is an utter joke. It's an insult is what it is. And I'm glad that Jim Jordan and other congressmen that are on the right wing of the political spectrum are saying that they will not support this bill. Rand Paul is providing at least another alternative. In my view, folks, we just need to repeal the whole damn thing. Why are we having health insurance companies in charge of our health? I mean, that's the only option that these bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. want to give us as American people. They want to give corporate control over our health to a bunch of bean counter insurance companies. And, you know, they pulled the wool out of everyone's eyes on this Ryan Care, because under Ryan Care, illegal immigrants can still get entitlements. They can still get health care. They can still get free crap. Oh, yeah. And you know what? That fine that supposedly went away? No, it's going to be corporately enforced, not enforced by the IRS. All right? It's going to be corporately enforced, meaning that if you have gone without health insurance for more than 63 days, the next health insurance company can now legally fine your ass if you want to have health insurance. I mean, do you get it? And the fine is even more than the goddamn fine in Obamacare.
Is your garage full of old paint that you'll never use? I know mine is. Avocado green, hot pink, antique white. That is a nice shade of white, though. You know, it's easy to recycle your paint all over California. Keep what you need and recycle the rest. Find a drop-off site near you at paintcare.org.
So, let me explain something to you. I think that the reason Trump is falling in line with this Obamacare situation is because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Trump understands the nuances and the complexities behind all this ridiculous bureaucratic hoopla that is health care. Remember, Trump has got a lot on his plate. Right now, he understands that politics is about perspective. And I believe somebody within his inner circle is advising him and saying, look, if we pass this, all right, even though it's not good, even though it's pretty much another version of Obamacare, but more economically solvent. Because right now, if we don't do anything, folks, Obama is going to collapse on itself financially. And everybody knows it. The Republicans know it. Everybody knows it. And that was the intention, folks. I mean, you have to understand, that was the intention of Obamacare, so that it would implode on itself so it can incrementally bring in socialized medicine. And that's the intention. And you see, Ryan Care just kicks the can down the road even longer. I mean, it keeps this ridiculous Obamacare. And listen, let's be honest. The Obamacare, Ryan Care, all it is maintaining the monopolization of our health in the hands of insurance companies. And I've said this time and time again. I don't think insurance companies should have any bearing over our health. I mean, what happened to us, folks? I mean, 40 years ago, we had the best health care in the world. 40 years ago, we had heads of state coming over here to America to get surgeries, to have health care, to get cancer treatments, and so on and so forth. I mean, what the hell's going on? As I stated, folks, it's this monopolization, this merging of corporatism and government is what is being dictated in our lives, and it's being dictated by these damn bureaucrats. And the reason Trump is going along with it, folks, because on paper, if they pass this ridiculous Ryan Care or Obamacare Light, on paper it looks as if Trump is doing everything that he said. And I don't think Trump understands the complexities of health care, because the reason that Obamacare was structured in the fashion in which anybody who attempts to dismantle it, it will leave 40-plus million people uninsured. Because right now we've got 48 million people that are insured on Obamacare that have pre-existing conditions, that are old or poor or illegal immigrants for that matter. And if we were to just go ahead and repeal the whole damn thing, those 48 million people would be out of health care. And you see, Obamacare purposely did this so that they could politically own health care and induce socialized medicine. Because they know that if anyone was to repeal Obamacare, whoever repealed it would look like monsters. They'd be looking like Uncle Scrooge, like taking away somebody's health care from the sick is what they're going to try to make it look like. When in actuality, folks, the whole Obamacare scheme is a scam, and so is Ryan Care. What Obamacare and Ryan Care do is take money from people that are paying insurance premiums at high rates, that are healthy, that don't go to the doctor, that don't have debilitating ailments, that are basically generally in all good health. They charge these folks more than the folks that have the debilitating diseases, the poor, the old, etc., etc. Now, what this is doing, folks, it is eating the middle class, because that's the true foundation of the destruction of our country, is if we eliminate the middle class, and once we become a two-tier class system, well, then that's the basis of communism, folks. A two-tier class system, that's the basis of communism. You've got the bureaucrats and the freaking Politburos and in the communist government and the rest of the people. That's it. Just like in China. So, once again, I disagree with the president. And President Trump, please understand that I would just scrap this whole goddamn thing and just forget about it. I think that Ryan did this on purpose. I think that he understands that you don't really understand the complexities of the healthcare system. You don't really understand about the structuring of the scheme, because that's really what it is. That's what Obamacare is. It's a freaking scam. It's a scam. So that's why I'm saying, folks, what we're witnessing here is not what we wanted as those of us that wanted to repeal Obamacare. I wanted to repeal. I don't want to replace. I want to repeal. I think that everybody should be dropped from insurance. You want to know why? Because then doctors who have left the field because the goddamn insurance agencies have taken control of healthcare, they'll come back. The doctors will come back. They'll open up their practice in a small, maybe some of the dead space in these retail and office spots, all right? And start practicing again. And you see, that's what we need to get back to, man. Where in the hell did we go wrong? I mean, I remember when folks didn't have the health care or the health insurance necessary. I mean, we had charity hospitals, folks. And you see, unfortunately, charity hospitals have turned into for-profit hospitals. Because who makes the profit? The bureaucrats within the nonprofit organization who allocate all the damn revenue into their pockets, into their perks, into their traveling, into their food, and all that crap. I mean, I just think that we need to eliminate health insurance off of the patient completely. Why should a corporatist health insurance company have any kind of say-so over our health? I mean, I think that we should go independently, individually to practitioners, and they can open up their own practice. And you see, what will happen is this. You're either going to be a practitioner that has so many patients that you can increase your money to, see patients because you've healed so many people, word of mouth. I mean, now that we've got the internet, if you happen to actually make people better, people are going to want to go to you. You know what I'm saying? But instead, we have this ridiculous government-run healthcare system that allows the corporate health insurance industry to dictate over our health. That's why we're seeing more sick people today, folks. I mean, that's why we're seeing the cancers at young ages. That's why we're seeing all these invasive surgeries all of a sudden. That's why everybody's taking medication. That's why everybody's sick. I mean, the scheme of healthcare induces this. The current system that we have as healthcare, it doesn't encourage health. It encourages people to be debilitating so they can keep coming back and billing the insurance company, for Christ's sake. That's why when anybody goes to the doctor, they don't get better. You know what they get? They get better from some ailment that was ailing them and get a medication that gives them a side effect. It's just so stupid. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. And listen, people are saying, hey, well, people who couldn't afford it, people can't afford it. Well, that's when society has to realize that, okay, maybe we need to take care of our sick and our elderly and those that are afflicted with debilitating ailments that can't pay. Maybe that's when charitable hospitals that used to care for people out of the sake of caring for people instead of because look, you want to know why nonprofits are profit hospitals now? The insurance company, man. Medicaid, Medicare, man. They just bill these organizations and they you don't understand, folks. There is a vested interest in making sure you are sick. There is a vested interest in making sure you have cancer. There is a vested interest in making sure you are delivered chemotherapy. There is a vested interest in making sure you are medicated. I mean, the worst and disgusting, despicable scoundrels of life and humanity themselves reside in the medical industry. Anyway, folks, that's my personal opinion, but I don't know what the hell we're going to get as it pertains to health care. I think that this is a big nothing burger as it pertains to any kind of replacement of Obamacare. I think Michael Savage said today on his show, why can't we have high-risk pools? If we're going to go this insurance route, then why does somebody who basically doesn't, do too many kinds of riskful activities, doesn't conduct itself in any kind of high-risk activities that could put their health at risk, they are charged differently from somebody who does a job that's really high risk, that they could potentially get injured or get hurt at or killed at, or somebody who's a stunt man, or somebody, with all due respect to my LGBTQ brethren and sister and pansexualin, if you have more than 5+ sexual partners in a year, I think that, that's pretty goddamn high risk, and, you should be paying a little more for that, man. I mean, you're going to get the VD, you're going to get something, man. I mean, why do the people that are the most healthiest have to pay more? I've known people who have been healthy as a horse for like 20 years with the same policy. All right, Obamacare comes along, and because they haven't used the health care, the health insurance, and their policy, their goddamn policies have gone up like triple. All right, I mean, what kind of sense does that make? What kind of sense does that make? They didn't take anything out of the system. Why are you going? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, folks, I personally believe if we're going to go this direction, and we're going to continue on with the damn insurance direction, I think that we need to have high-risk pools in which, people that have higher risk of debilitating ailments or any kind of health issues should pay higher insurance, and those that don't. All right, I mean, that's a start. I think also we should reduce the amount of paperwork involved in health care. I mean, I remember Dennis Kucinich. I've tried to tweet at Dennis Kucinich. If he doesn't want to tweet at me because I'm a freaking, capitalist right-winger. But I tried to ask him, what was the bill that you initiated in which, and part of the bill, it described how 80% of the cost of health care is in paperwork. And that in the bill, it kind of talks about how to eliminate that paperwork, how to eliminate that bureaucratic mess that is increasing the cost of health care, how to just completely diminish that. So I think that there's a lot of ways that are not being talked about on the Hill right now. These people are a bunch of corporatist assholes. They're being paid by the health insurance industry. Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, and many in the damn right and left are, they want this. They are paid by the health insurance industry. Of course that they are going to write a bill where the health insurance industry still has a goddamn monopoly on our health. Good God, man. Wake up, folks. Come on. What happened 30, 40 years ago? We had the best health care. Now, what happened? Government is what happened, man. Government getting involved in health care is what happened, man. Jesus Christ, man. Listen, Donald Trump, please listen. Paul Ryan is doing this to make you look dumb, make you look incompetent, all right? This bill is ridiculous. It's a 66-page revision of a 3,000-page Affordable Care Act, a.k.a. Obamacare. And, Paul Ryan and his lackeys, they want so much credit for revising 66 pages in 8 days. Oh, yeah, that's great. What a scumbag Paul Ryan is. I'm telling you, he needs to be removed as the Speaker of the House. He doesn't represent anybody but himself. If you go on Ghost Report, go on ghost.report, type in your browser right now, ghost.report, take a look at the article that I wrote about Paul Ryan. You'll know exactly where this son of a bitch is coming from, why he is disconnected from America. You'll know exactly why. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I hope that somebody, when it goes through the process, because it's already passed it's already passed 2 committees, it's going to the House. I mean, can we have somebody talk about high-risk pools? Can we have somebody talking about getting rid of 80% of the cost of health care, which is paperwork? I mean, you mean to tell me you bureaucrats can't even do that? I mean, those are 2 suggestions which could literally cut health care right now as we know it under your stupid scam system by tremendous amounts and have people paying less for their health insurance, all right? Jesus Christ, man. Wake up, folks, all right? I mean, call your congressman and tell them, look, we need high-risk pools, and we need something about the 80% of health care cost and paperwork being diminished, all right? We start doing that. Those are two easy starting points. We start doing that, then we start getting somewhere with the new Trump care. So that's why I'm telling you, Trump, you need to start talking about certain subjects like high-risk pools, like cutting down the bureaucratic paperwork, which comprises 80% of the goddamn healthcare costs. Get that down. Don't get down. And Laggett said, would high-risk pools involve trade workers who don't get paid much but have high rates of injuries due to work? Well, wouldn't it behoove the government to basically, force those corporations that use maybe, I don't know, coal miners and oil riggers and that sort of thing to pay for their health insurance, or at least pay for some of it? I mean, that makes perfect sense. I mean, why should somebody who is hiring somebody that's like, working at a freaking service industry job, fast food, something of that capacity, who works 40 hours, why should the employer be forced to pay for their health care? I mean, there's no actual high risk. Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, yeah, sure, they may get burned by some grease or, something may happen, but what's the odds of that happening? I mean, come on. I mean, I mean, these are the kinds of debates that should be taking place in Washington, and they're not doing it. They're not talking about it. I mean, this is the discussions that should be happening. Anyway, folks, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Before we get started, I'd like for everybody to please spread it around like wildfire and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. It is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And, of course, please follow me on Twitter and Gab under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Twitter and on Gab, folks. Make sure to get yourself a Gab account. It is the Twitter alternative. The Twitter police are clamping down out here. They're clamping down, baby. Anyway, we're running out of time here. Let me move on to some more subject matters. Now, speaking of Twitter police, yours truly was locked out of his Twitter account because of a tweet that I made about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Maybe about a month and a half ago. I'm talking about this tweet about Lucian Wintrich, the now former White House correspondent. Anyway, the former White House correspondent that was a part of the two-bit rag called Gateway Pundit, okay? This guy, we had a little bit of a Twitter battle, okay? And for whatever reason, I thought that was over, that was it, all right? But you see, folks, he obviously blames me because I made these pictures a little bit more popular of his extracurricular activities in which he likes to film young boys. I mean, I'm sure they're over the age, at least I hope so, mutilating animals, and expects everyday society to accept that, and he expects to be in the press corps in the White House, being that close to the president. I'm just saying. Anyway, this tweet was about a month and a half old. Ever since I tweeted this, all of a sudden, Lucian Wintrich has gotten lots of attention. And it's lots of attention that he does not like and does not want. So as a result, what did Lucian Wintrich do? He literally got me locked out of my freaking Twitter account because of this ridiculous tweet I made of him, which I said, is this guy, I mean, you know, listen, I basically just tweeted some pictures that he posted, sent a comment, and that's it. And this guy reports me to the Twitter police and gets my Twitter locked most of Saturday, okay? I end up getting it back. And then I said, okay, Lucian, all right, you want to play games? You want to play games? Okay. Say hello to my little friend. And I had to, unfortunately, pull some strings, which I don't like to do, folks, because I don't want to basically, you know, show off my power of influence, especially within the White House. But Monday, Lucian Wintrich, now former White House correspondent, was removed from the press corps and his press credentials were revoked. And he really didn't get a good explanation for it. And now he's hollering that it's something that it's what is he hollering? He's hollering some freaking leftist crap. It's gay discrimination is what he's hollering now. They're discriminating against him. They're revoking his goddamn credentials because homophobia. Lucian, yeah, we're not homophobic. We just don't like seeing young naked boys mutilating animals and then think that someone like you who takes these kinds of photos is going to be considered legitimate in regular everyday society. I mean, what is this, man? I mean, listen, I don't care if you're homosexual. I mean, that's you like that, you like that. That's great. I'm happy for you, okay? Why is it that the LGBT movement nowadays, in my opinion, I mean, there's just too many of these cases to overlook. Why are these LGBT voices have a fetish for young kids, young children, dead animals, spirit cooking activity? Can somebody explain what the hell's going on here? I mean, it goes back to what I've been saying about folks that need to have age checks, in my personal opinion. You know, I mean, D. Ray McKesson, Milo Yiannopoulos. I mean, I think that these people, in my opinion, should be checked for the AIDS because, in my view, I think that's why they're leading a group of people, in D. Ray's case, his own black folk, and in Milo's case, the fruity-ass alt-right, leading down these people in a path of destruction. All right, and that's not what leadership does. People that are wanting to lead people, you're not supposed to lead them into destruction. But you see, in my personal opinion, I just think that I'm seeing too much correlation of homosexuals that look like they're AIDS infested that are conducting themselves in very violent, radical activity. I mean, Scott Fovel in the Project Veritas videos, the bird dogging guy, all right? I mean, D. Ray McKesson. I mean, the two fruits that wanted to pour acid down a goddamn ventilation system to choke people. You know, that was another Project Veritas. Those guys looked AIDS infected, for Christ's sake. I'm just saying, there's just too much correlation of people that look like they got the AIDS and them doing crazy, ridiculous, very off-the-wall, psychotic, hurtful crap. I'm just saying. Now, with that being said, I just don't understand. I mean, I would like to have Lucian Wintrich on. I doubt he will come on here because he's ignored me, all of the inner circle, most of the capitalist army, and anybody who has capitalist right in their profile. He's ignored you now because he knows he done goofed and he shouldn't have come at me. Now he got his White House press credentials revoked. You got your White House press credentials revoked. Let me tell you something. Don't come at me again. You hear me, you alt-right pricks? Don't come at me again. And you know, for good fun, all right? We went at Richard Spencer too, all right? I mean, it was a busy weekend. That's why I took yesterday off. I'm telling you that right damn now. Richard Spencer, for you folks that are unaware, Mr. Alt-Right himself, this guy who is supposed to be running a nonprofit organization, what the hell is it called? Here, let me go back to the Twitter. I forgot. There's so much crap that this world is involved in, for Christ's sake. Let me go back to the Twitter here, folks. Here it is. Jesus Christ, where is it? Here it is. What the hell is it? National Policy Institute. That's what he ran. That's what his nonprofit organization was. So we did some investigating and couldn't find any kind of numbers, or we couldn't find anything on the National Policy Institute. We couldn't find any earnings, any donations. I mean, any of the paperwork necessary to be running such a group, we couldn't find any of it, which we thought was kind of interesting. So we just investigated and thought it was an anomaly. We questioned the proper authorities, like, hey, do you have the information? I mean, because we'd like to know. We're the public. We'd like to know this. They informed us they didn't have the information, and lo and behold, IRS strips Richard Spencer of his nonprofit tax exemption status. Don't mess with the capitalist right. Don't ever mess with the capitalist right. We are rising from the ashes of the alt-right. Don't mess with the capitalist right. This should show every one of you that the capitalist right, the capitalist army, is serious goddamn business. It's serious goddamn business. Don't come at me again. Lucian Wintrich, Richard Spencer, don't come at me again. This is the capitalist right, damn it. This is the capitalist right, and we're taking over the Republican Party. We're taking over the right-wing political spectrum. We're taking over. We're taking over. Do you understand me? We're taking over. We're taking over, and there's nothing that the right wing can do about it. There's nothing that the Republican establishment can do about it. There's nothing that the alt-right can do about it. There's nothing that any of these dumb, ridiculous beards, nothing, no one. I told every one of you that this was a capitalist revolution. Didn't I say that this was a capitalist revolution? Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Don't mess with the capitalist right. Once again, folks, Saturday, Lucian Wintrich tries to lock me out of Twitter. Monday morning, he has his press credentials revoked. Richard Spencer trying to sit here and be Mr. Spotlight. And listen, let me tell you what happened to Spencer and why, this unfortunate incident happened to him, okay? It happened to him because I know, as well as everybody who's done investigations on this idiot, his connections to Russia. And if you want my personal opinion, I have always alluded to, in my opinion, that he was placed there to make Donald Trump look like a moron. I mean, when he did that ridiculous Sieg Heil, when he did that Sieg Heil crap during the election night. Remember, after the election, he gets up with a couple of Jews, mind you, okay? I mean, I'm just saying. He gets up with a couple of Jews and does a Sieg Heil to Trump, and of course, CNN had cameras there to make sure to film it, and that's when Richard Spencer made his name. And you know what? Richard Spencer always puts his face in any kind of media association. He was at CPAC. He wants to go down to Berkeley. I mean, this guy's a complete and utter media whore, and the reason he's a media whore, folks, is because, in my personal opinion, he's put here to make Trump look like a moron. All right? I mean, look at his actions, man. He's here to make Trump look like a complete idiot. So with that being said, we did some investigation, and we all know about this. I've told you about the Dugan connections. Right after I told you about the Dugan connection, all of a sudden Dugan is in every goddamn mainstream media outlet, for Christ's sake. Alexander Dugin, the political philosopher that is literally in back of all these Ruskies. I mean, this is the guy who is called Putin's brain in Russia, Alexander Dugin. Anyway, look, I did this because I'm going to tell you. Let me take that back. Whoa! Let me take this back. Let me take that back. This was done, okay, because I'm tired of the alt-right. I'm tired of them. I know that they're controlled opposition, and I put them in a scenario that proves it. Lucian Wintrich, what is he crying about? He's playing the gay card now. He's playing the gay card. He's like, oh, it's not fair. They're coming at me because they're homophobic. It's not fair. I got my press credential tonight because I'm a homo, and they're a homophobic. He's being a leftist. He had me locked out of my Twitter account. What is that? Leftist tactics. And Richard Spencer, you know what, Richard? I don't like you. I think that you're a fake, phony, fruity-ass, fruit bowl gay bastard, in my opinion, okay? And I think that you are controlled opposition. I think that you and your wife are Duginites. I wouldn't be surprised if, you weren't collecting some form of Russian payment via the think tank that Dugin sits on in America, or I don't know. This is my opinion. Maybe we can look into some connections with Runa Capital with either Richard Spencer or Nina Byzantina, his wife. So, I don't know, man. I'm just simply stating this is the capitalist right. Don't come at us, all right? I mean, man, how much more digital damage do we have to do before you people start realizing we're serious business here, all right? Why don't you go ask the Black Panther Party who we are? They know who the hell we are. Why don't you go ask D. Ray McKesson? Right now, if you go and just put anything about the capitalist army, if you put anything about the capitalist right in D. Ray McKesson, he'll ignore your ass. Same thing with Lucian Wintrich. Same thing with everybody that's ever tried to cross us and think that we're a bunch of crap. So I'm just saying, man, all right? Don't mess with us anymore. I'm tired of this crap. I'm tired of playing games out here, all right? I mean, look what happened to Milo Yiannopoulos. What did I tell you about this guy, huh? And there's a new video. Did you hear about this? I haven't heard it yet. I've only read about it with him and Gavin McGinnis. And what have I told you about that guy, huh? Gavin McGinnis and Richard Spencer worked at the same online magazine back in 2010, 2009. All right? I mean, all these people are connected. It's just disgusting. It's ridiculous is what it is. All right? But did you hear Milo Yiannopoulos basically calling victims of Catholic abuse whiny babies or something to that capacity? And they need to get over it? I mean, can you believe this? That's the alt-right. That right there was the alt-right. That was the alt-right. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, look, I've had about enough of this, all right? I'm done. I'm done talking about Lucian Wintrich and Richard Spencer. They have now felt the power of influence that the capitalist right has, all right? Don't come at me again, Lucian Wintrich, or I'll make sure you never work in the media again. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, let me move on here. Let me talk about, let me switch gears here, all right? Let me switch gears. Let me take a swig of some drink here. Let's switch gears here and talk a little bit about a studio-ass gangster by the name of Snoop Dogg. Now, the reason I'm talking about this idiot that's so skinny he can hula hoop through a Cheerio, this idiot's so skinny he can hand glide on a Dorito, for Christ's sake, all right? The reason I'm talking about this moron is because he put out a video, I believe it was yesterday, in which he depicts himself shooting what looks like a characterization of Donald Trump dressed as a clown. Now, I find this rather ironic because Mr. Calvin Brodus, all right, let's go ahead and retweet that picture of Calvin Brodus, and let me go ahead and take some impromptu Twitter shout-outs, because I want Calvin Brodus to know that he's a fake-ass, studio-ass gangster that never actually lived the strife that he claims that he lived in his rap music himself, but peddles it to black America so it can influence them into killing each other. I mean, seriously, folks, here it is. Look, let me go ahead and retweet this here. I'm retweeting it now. Look at this. Here, his name is Calvin Corradozar. Corradozar? Wait a minute. Hey, Snoop, are you Dominican or something? I mean, what the hell is this? Codozar? His name is Calvin Codozar Brodus Jr., okay? A.K.A. Snoop Dogg helped kill millions of black people by glamorizing a lifestyle he never lived. And I want to remind people that prior to Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and NWA and all that, we didn't have this kind of gang problem. We didn't have some glorification of degeneracy and ghetto-fied degeneracy. I mean, the idea of gangsterism was a very, very small speck of society. And it wasn't until Eazy-E and Dr. Dre and specifically Snoop Dogg, when they glamorized this very, very small segment of society and they made it mainstream, that's when we started seeing ghettos in middle-class neighborhoods. That's when we started seeing children of all different racial makeups acting like some thuggery idiot that was induced by the music and the characterization that Snoop Dogg represents. I mean, this guy has killed more black people with his music than the Ku Klux Klan could have ever imagined. This guy, in my opinion, if you lost a child in gang violence anytime between 1993 to now, in my opinion, I think that you have a case against this idiot. And Dr. Dre, and all these people. There should be a class action lawsuit, in my personal opinion, suing the bejesus out of everybody who has capitalized and made millions, and in some cases, like Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre, billions of dollars off of fake black strife. Now gangsterism and all this ridiculousness that the freaking Snoop Dogg raps about, now it's a reality, now it's mainstream. But when this asshole started off back in 93, 94, this wasn't mainstream. We didn't have ghettos in middle-class America. We didn't have ghetto-fied, glorified degeneracy. These people induced it. Snoop Dogg, Calvin Codozar Brodus, this asshole induced it. And now this guy has the gall, this asshole has the audacity to sit here and try to make some kind of a goddamn parody, trying to simulate assassinating my president. Yo, screw you, Snoop Dogg. I'm tired of Snoop Dogg. You know, have you ever heard his music, folks? This guy's talking about busting caps, pimping hoes. I mean, this guy thinks that, I mean, if you would have heard this guy's crap, you would have thought he's killed 1 million people. You'd have thought that, he's going out Nino Brown style, popping caps in people's heads in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would think that this guy's some scary-ass gangster. He's a stupid, studio-ass gangster. He's a fake. He's a phony. Let me tell you something about Snoop Dogg. When Snoop Dogg got dropped from Death Row Records by Suge Knight right after Dr. Dre left Death Row Records because, he didn't really want to piss off Suge Knight. You know what I mean? So he basically walked away with nothing, Dr. Dre. He walked away from Death Row Records with nothing because he didn't want Suge Knight after him. I don't blame him. But when Snoop Dogg was out here, he was so scared of Suge Knight, this son of a bitch signed, I think it was a 2-album deal with No Limit Records. Do y'all remember that? No Limit Records was owned by, at the time, Master P, before he, got taken for everything and what he was worth for some stupid broad. Anyway, You had Snoop Dogg hiding under the nutsack of Master P's brother C. Murder, who ironically is in prison for murder. He was hiding under the nutsack of C. Murder because he was scared crapless that Suge Knight was going to come and bust a cap in his ass. You know, and let me tell you something. Hey, Snoop Dogg, you know what? Before I do that, let's just go ahead and take some Twitter shout-outs of Snoop Dogg, all right? All right, if you want a Twitter shout-out live right here on the broadcast, retweet the tweet that I just retweeted about Snoop Dogg being a studio-ass gangster, all right?
Hi, I'm a helpful Southern California Honda person, and recently we've been doing random acts of helpfulness. Like decorating a children's hospital, helping a mom get a tutor for her son, and even replacing stolen tools from a car break-in. And right now, during the Honda Dream Garage sales event, we can help you too with a great deal on an award-winning Honda. Like the Accord, a 2017 Car and Driver 10 Best a record 31 times. Click the dealer locator link to find a dealer near you, and go to SoCalHondaDealers.com to suggest a random act of helpfulness for someone you know. Car and Driver, January 2017.
Anyway, we got Mark Montag in the house. What's going on? We've got Moderate Rebel. What's going on to Comfy Man, Lego Man, Lego Fan 420. We've got Southern Minds in the place. We've got somebody named Dre. Oh, that's funny. We got Dirk Diggler. Who else do we have here? Cut Lives Matter in the house. We've got Maroxis. What's going on? We've got the Green Leader in the place. Silent Capitalist, Mr. Kruger. We've got the TCR Arabian Prince. What's going on, sir? We've got Distilling in the house. We've got, I'm not going to say that for Christ's sake. We've got Big Tough Capitalist in the place. Remington in the house. Stop Obama Now. Yeah, no kidding. Stop This Man is Right. We've got Jimmy Howe in the place. Laggett in the house. We've got Sergeant Yoda. Once again, if you want a Twitter shout-out, all you've got to do is retweet the Snoop Dogg Studio Gangster tweet that I just retweeted so that dumbass, ridiculous, pathetic Snoop Dogg can make sure to have his little Studio Gangster face right in his face, right in his Twitter account, that stupid son of a bitch. Anyway, we've got Raiden Snake in the Grass. What the? Raiden Snake in the Grass? What the hell is that about? We've got Hopscotch in the place. We've got Agent Shekel. Oh, shut up, you stupid moron. We've got Ambassador 8 Equal, whatever the hell that means. Chief Slapaho. Yeah, Chief Slapaho. Hey, we've got Agent BD. We've got... I'm not going to say that, for Christ's sake, you sick sons of bitches. We got Bastard Ghost. Bastard Ghost. I got your bastard. Chris Hyde in the house. Look what I Jewed. Shut up! You shut up! You all just shut up, man. You know what? That's it. I'm not going to... Not after that. I'm not going to do any more shout-outs after that. Go screw yourself. Son of a bitch. Give me the mic. Son of a bitch. I can't believe you people sometimes, man. I can't believe you sometimes, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm going to move on from the Snoop Dogg thing here. But one thing I do want is I want to send a 187 shout-out to Snoop Doggy Dogg, all right? I'm serious. Hey, are you a gangster rapper, want to make a name for yourself? Huh? Why don't you go pop Snoop Dogg, man? Huh? I mean, you know, he's talking about how he's busted caps on this person and that person, and he's this and he's that. He's making videos wanting to assassinate my president. So by all means, you know, I'm not saying kill Snoop Dogg. I'm just saying, why don't you take a pop at him? Why don't you take a shot at him? You're such a big badass studio-ass gangster. He thinks he's a fake Crip. He ain't no goddamn Crip. Shut up, Snoop. You're a freaking Crip, man. I bet you can't even get a pass in any of the damn Crip hoods, for Christ's sake. Go down to Grape Street Watts and see if your ass don't get your ass handed to you, boy. Stupid moron. I don't love them hoes, I'm out the dough. Remember, that's what he said. I don't love them hoes, I'm out the dough. Somebody, you know what? If you're a rapper, you want to make a name for yourself. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to plant seeds here. I'm trying to plant seeds. This guy wants to assassinate my president. He thinks it's a big joke. This guy wants to sit out here and glamorize the ghetto-fied lifestyle. Well, by God, I mean, some rapper out there that wants to sell millions of albums right now, I mean, there is your opportunity. Take a shot at your opportunity right there. Studio-ass gangster right there. All right? And listen, y'all remember Shine? Y'all remember that rapper Shine? Anyway, for you folks, let me just refresh your memory. All right? Shine was this rapper that, as a matter of fact, I mean, he says he actually has a pretty decent song called Bad Boys, which is not bad. But anyway, Shine was this rapper that was an 18-year-old thug out of New York City. All right? Had just signed to Puff Daddy's, Bad Boy Records. All right? So what did Puff Daddy wanted to do? He wanted to take out Shine to celebrate, and at the time, he was with J-Lo, old Puff Daddy. He was, literally whipped on J-Lo. Anyway, Shine and J-Lo and Puffy went into this club, and for whatever reason, Shine was packing heat. I don't know, somebody stepped on Shine's shoe or something. I don't know what the hell happened. Shine pulls out a gun, starts busting caps at people. Shoots a broad's eye out. A couple of people get injured. Shine did about 8 years in prison or something, and that's it. He's out. He's living in Belize right now. He's churning out records. He's living great. All right. So I'm just saying, for you folks that are out there that are rappers that want an opportunity, you know what I mean, that are gangster rappers that want to show how hard you are, Bobby Schmurder style. Or C-Murder style, there it is right there, Snoop Dogg. That's your opportunity right there. Take a shot at him, all right? Right there, take a goddamn shot at him. Studio-ass gangster. Anyway, let me move on, for Christ's sake, all right? Let's get to some international news before we run out of time, for Christ's sake. Man, time is running by pretty quick. Hours before the Dutch elections, folks, no one knows who to vote for. I mean, Wilder's party seems, according to the initial reports that I'm reading, it's not necessarily going too well for his party. All right, at least the exit polls and samplings in the Netherlands have told, according to the mainstream media. Okay, now this is a very, very interesting dilemma that the Netherlands is in at this point in time, because it's an either make or break moment for the Netherlands. I think if Wilders does not win, which he doesn't look like he is, folks. I mean, it'll be a miracle if he does. I think that the Netherlands need it at this point in time. They're being completely cucked, and they need some level of identity back into their system, into their politic, into their sociality. And I think Wilders, I mean, he may not be the best candidate politically. He may be a little bit rough around the edges. But at this point in time, this would be a blow to the globalists. This would be a blow to the EU. It'd be a blow to everybody. But it doesn't look good. The voters, according to the reports I'm reading out of the Netherlands, they don't know who to vote for. They're confused. They don't know who to vote for. So it's going to be an interesting election, to say the least, out there in the Netherlands. And we shall see if Wilders can pull it off. If Wilders pulls it off, you better expect the euro to go down, 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 down. But it's interesting, right? Hours before the Dutch elections, no one knows who to vote for. I mean, come on, man. Don't you all have any freaking identity out there in Netherlands? Europe is being overrun. It's being overrun by Yehudis, for Christ's sake. What's wrong with you people? It's being overrun by Yehudis, for Christ's sake. Good God. Anyway, folks, I don't know what's going to happen in this Dutch election. but we shall wait and see. If Wilder somehow pulls it off by the skin of his teeth, I mean, be expecting all hell to break loose in the euro currency the next day. All right, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let me move on because we're running out of time here. Let's go to French elections that are coming up as well, folks. Did y'all hear Francois Fillon? And for you folks that are unaware, I reported on this guy being a corrupt bureaucratic piece of trash, giving bureaucratic jobs, fictitious bureaucratic jobs, because he had the power to do so, and giving them to his family so they can collect off of the goddamn taxpayer system. And I told you that this guy is a corrupt piece of trash. He refuses to step down, even though the allegations of Fillon doing this, and there's blatant evidence that shows that he did, that he basically created bureaucratic jobs and gave them to his family and friends so that they can, collect off the government dole. So, I mean, give me a break. And this guy has the audacity to not step down in the midst of this election. Well, I think that was a bad mistake for Francois Fillon, because the French presidential candidate, right now that he's in an election, he is now being charged with embezzlement. Yeah! I mean, that's decent news for everybody who's out there in France rooting for Le Pen at this point in time. All right? I mean, you can't stop the media out there in France from covering the fact that the presidential candidate has now got charges against him for embezzlement, for using and abusing his power when he was a bureaucrat in the French government system. I'm serious. I mean, I just can't believe. I mean, the gall of some bureaucrats. I mean, it doesn't matter what country they're from, right? I mean, they think. I mean, the hubris and the freaking gall of these people. I mean, I reported that Francois Fillon had been a corrupt piece of crap about, I would say, a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, when I discussed that this guy created fictitious bureaucratic jobs and gave them to his friends and his family. And I was saying, why is this guy even running? This guy's a corrupt piece of trash. He should be disqualified for running, or charges should be brought up on this son of a bitch. Well, no, you know what? Now charges are now being brought up. Now charges are being brought up for embezzlement while he's in the midst of a campaign. So I think that this is decent news for Le Pen. From what I understand, according to the polls, she doesn't have a shot. But I don't believe that, folks. I've actually have some people that have informed me out there in France that there is a lot of support for Le Pen based upon the migrant crisis that has turned Paris into a disgusting, despicable Mogadishu jungle. All right? I mean, all you have to do is YouTube streets of Paris, all right? Just YouTube streets of Paris and see the kind of garbage that Paris, France is now. It's not the beautiful, romantic place. Oh, I want to go to Paris, France. Yes, I'm going to go have a croissant and go have some nice champagne out there in the Paris, France. We go to the Eiffel Tower. Yes. No, not anymore. It's not that romantic place anymore, for Christ's sake, because it's been bombarded by Yehudis. It's been bombarded by Yehudis. And I think Le Pen has a slight bit of a shot. I think that she has more of a shot to win the election in France than Wilder has in this election in the Netherlands. And that's my personal opinion. We shall see. Time will tell. All right? I mean, time will tell, for heaven's sake. Now, continuing on with Europe. Did y'all hear Turkey? Erdogan has said that the migrant deal with the EU has ended. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, what have I told you about Erdogan? And why the EU was negotiating with this guy to be a part of the EU, to be a part of NATO, because he is literally, his damn country is the gateway, the floodgates of Yehudis from Turkey into Europe. All right? And as a result, because Turkey has negotiated, or at least attempted to negotiate with the EU, Merkel, and NATO, and all these international institutions, Turkey has done its fair share to a certain capacity by holding back the floodgates of millions. I mean, if you think it's bad now in Europe, if you think you're being overflooded with migrants and Yehudis now, at any time the floodgates will be open, and there's no way you can stop these millions and millions of migrants that the damn Turkish government and Erdogan is holding back. I mean, these are floodgates of Yehudis by the millions. I mean, even more than are already there in Europe. And that's why I'm saying, folks, in my personal opinion, I believe that Erdogan is utilizing the migrant crisis in an attempt to invade Europe. And how are they going to invade it? Well, I mean, they already have the blueprint in the goddamn migrant crisis currently. Take a look at what's happening in Sweden. Take a look at what's happening in Germany. Take a look at what's happening in France. They've got the blueprint. So now that you've got Erdogan coming out and saying that the deal is over with the EU, the migrant deal is over, he's going to open up the floodgates and he's going to pour in waves of millions of migrants into Europe, folks. It's going to happen. And it's going to be a very serious situation. I'm telling you, I think this is very serious. And let me tell you, Erdogan's not kidding. Erdogan already went at Wilders and the government of the Netherlands, calling them fascist. And you know, of all things that Turkey's bringing up, it's bringing up the genocide at Srebrenica. Srebrenica, yeah. Y'all remember that enclave in which Mladic went in with the help of the United Nations, which comprised nothing but Dutch soldiers? Well, Srebrenica was a slaughtering of about 8,000 Muslims that lived in this enclave in Srebrenica. And, of course, Mladic has already, I think he's still, I don't know if that, I think he was already found guilty in the World Court. But he was found guilty, or he was on trial in the World Court for these particular atrocities in Srebrenica. Well, now you've got Turkey, Erdogan's Turkey, invoking fascism towards the Netherlands and invoking the memory of Srebrenica. I think that's rather funny, man, because what about the Armenian genocide that was conducted by the Turks that you Turks deny? I mean, even those asshole leftists at the Young Turks, they even deny the Armenian genocide. I mean, you know, you can't have it both ways, Erdogan, all right? You can't have it both ways. Now, I have no idea what is about to transpire, in my personal opinion. I don't know what's about to transpire because, I mean, when these floodgates of migrants are allowed to just go right into Europe from Turkey, I don't think Europe's going to be prepared for it. I think Europe's going to be in a very precarious situation, and I'm glad I'm not in Europe at this point in time. I hate to say it, and let me tell you, you folks in Europe, all you people that are cucked out there and believe that, you know, these migrants, you want to open arms and bring them in and that sort of thing, you're about to have a rude awakening. You're about to have a rude awakening when Turkey opens up these floodgates. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's get to some good European news. Brexit is now a reality, baby! Woo! Let me go ahead and say cheers, first and foremost, to my brethren across the pond in Britannia. I know that y'all have already celebrated this victory. It is a good victory. I am glad that you are now rid of that ridiculous international institution, the United Nations, the European Union, And I'm glad that it's now a reality. I tell you, I think that Theresa May picked her spots here. But I believe that the whole full implementation, if I'm not mistaken, is not until March 30th. But it has already passed the Lords. It has already passed the Parliament. I mean, it is law. I want to say cheers to my brethren from across the pond in Britannia. You and us here in America, we have told the globalists that we will not go quietly in that good night, and we will not submit to this quasi-bureaucratic corporatism that they are infringing upon our countries to create. I want to say cheers to my brethren in Britannia. Cheers, baby. Oh, man. Well, you know, I mean, it's great news. It's great news for my brethren in Britannia. It's great news. The problem is guess who is now complaining now that Brexit is in law, now that it's real, now that it's here? Scotland. Oh, not the Scots. No, come on, man. Scotland now wants another referendum calling for them to disband from the United Kingdom so that they can become their own independent country. And this, of course, is response to the passing of Brexit. So this is actually going to make things very difficult. And to be honest with you, if you know the parliamentary procedure within English politics, the Scottish Independent Party is always a pain in the ass. I mean, these people. I mean, I'm sorry. If you're from Scotland, I'm sorry. You got a beautiful country out there, but you're cucked beyond belief. I'm sorry. I mean, Sturgeon, she needs to, you know, take a step back and realize that, you know, there's some autonomous implications for Scotland here. I know that they are so dependent on the EU, because let's be honest, the whole reason why Scotland wants to do this referendum thing or in response to Brexit, it's an economic thing. They don't want to renegotiate deals with the EU. They like the deal that they have with the EU, and they don't want to break it. It's an economic situation. It has nothing to do with national pride, any kind of, kind of nationalism or anything of that capacity. It has everything to do with economics, for Christ's sake. I mean, if y'all want to be independent, Scotland, man, why don't y'all go yourselves? Why don't you commission in parliamentary procedure for at least Scotland to be able to do its own deals and still be a part of the UK? I mean, why do you got to think that you're going to make this referendum possible? Remember the last time that y'all did this? What was it, 4 or 5 years ago? It was a major fail. It was a major fail. And what is this? We're going to continue. What did Theresa May tell Sturgeon? Not to play this whole referendum game? Because that's what it is. It's a freaking game, for Christ's sake, man. You just had this vote like 4 or 5 years ago, for Christ's sake, Scotland. Get over it. Good God, man. I'm telling you, you Scottish, man, you know, I like Scotland. I like the land out there. You know, I like the countryside. But y'all guys are cocked, for Christ's sake, man. Uncock yourself. Get uncocked. Get uncocked. Get uncocked. Get uncocked. Anyway, now Scotland wants out of the UK again now that Brexit is now a reality. That's just great. Anyway, folks, last but not least, let me go into this last subject matter. Are you familiar about this new facial recognition technology that is now being put forth in application form that can literally, find anyone? All right, by taking their picture with their cell phone, they can find anyone's Facebook with a 70% accuracy. Yeah. Facial recognition app lets users find strangers on Facebook by taking their picture. I mean, isn't this rather invasive? I mean, isn't this actually providing help for stalkers here? I mean, and what did I tell you people about your Facebook profiles? I told you that you just gave out your information for free, and now people are using it. They're using and abusing it. They're selling it. They're using it for profit. I told you. Anyway, this new application is called FaceZam, and all you've got to do is just take a picture of somebody on the street, and this application will search somewhere like 1 billion photographs a second to find whoever it is that's in that picture and their Facebook profile, and then you get to know whoever the hell they are, for Christ's sake. I mean, isn't that kind of creepy? With this kind of app, somebody can basically go up to you and act like they know you. Somebody can kind of just go up to you and act like, kind of create a personality to meet you so that you can, kind of accept them. This ends the whole idea of anonymous society, man. And listen, they're claiming that this is just an application for consumers. They're going to integrate this crap into the surveillance state if they have not already done so now. And folks, that's why I don't have any social media. That's why I don't have a Facebook. That's why I don't have any goddamn pictures of me online. All right? That's why I don't take any pictures, period, to be honest with you, all right? I don't take any pictures, period. Because of this reason right here. I saw this coming a long time ago.
Calling the beautifully redesigned 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA simply a four-door coupe is like describing a world-class athlete as just a good runner. With its sleek profile and powerful turbocharged engine, the CLA offers agility and design that are unmatched in its class, and it's available now at an exceptional price. Why drive any four-door coupe when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA? Visit MBUSA.com/CLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Calling the 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA simply a compact SUV is like describing a cathedral as just 4 walls and a ceiling. The GLA is both a beautiful work of design and one of the most functional SUVs in its class, and it's available at an exceptional price. Why drive any compact SUV when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA? Visit MBUSA.com/GLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Once again, folks, a new face app that can literally identify somebody by taking their picture and will give you their Facebook with 70% accuracy. Anyway, this application is due to launch on iPhone, I believe, March 21st. So if you happen to be all Facebooky and you like to post yourself on Facebook, and you like to post your intimate moments, and you like to post, families and all this other crap, hey, there it is right there, man. Everybody's going to know who you are. You can't just be a name in the street anymore. And that you can't just be somebody that's just walking down the street because all somebody needs to do is take a picture of you. What is this going to do about surveillance? A cop now can literally take a picture of you and just, do you understand the implications of this? Jesus Christ, man. Wake up, folks. Wake the hell up. We're losing privacy right before our eyes. Anyway, you know what? That's it. I'm done with this crap. You people don't care about your privacy. Look at all the information that y'all have given to Facebook, for Christ's sake. You don't care. You don't care. Anyway, folks, we got about 8 minutes left. We got a little time, so let's just go ahead and get to everybody's favorite part of the broadcast, all right? And how about a little bit of radio graffiti? That's right, folks, radio graffiti, the part of the broadcast where the spectators become a part of the spectacle. All you got to do is give me a call right now, 516-453-9903. And when I call on your area code, you got exactly 3 to 4 seconds to say whatever it is that's on your mind. That's why we call this radio graffiti. And before I move on, folks, I would like to remind everybody, go check out our latest media project, ghost.report. Type that in your browser right now, ghost.report. It's our latest media project. We are going to update that with content as often as possible, rich, original content, folks, so make sure to check it out. Once again, ghost.report. Type that in your browser. Anyway, we got about a little over 5 minutes left. Do we got any Radio Graffiti callers there, engineer? All right, well, let's go ahead and get to some Radio Graffiti callers right now. All right, how about anonymous Radio Graffiti? What is this, a Helen Keller death mute hour, for Christ's sake? How about 609 Radio Graffiti?
Hey, Ghost, it's Capitalist Matt. I just wanted to say hi on this Taco Tuesday, and I wanted to raise you a cheers. I got a bottle of Trump vodka. So anyways, Trump vodka, second harvest, oh yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know, where the hell you been? I mean, this is the third and fourth and fifth and eighth harvest guy. Anyway, it's good to hear from you, Capitalist Mal. How about anonymous Radio Graffiti?
Remember me? Yeah, you do. Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here.
Hey, no, let's not do that, please, all right? Let's not go there. Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Oh, yeah. I want me some of that. You know, I'm not going home until I get me a piece of
all right, well, that's an Obama phone from the word go, for heaven's sake. Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here.
Look, shut up with that stupid saying, shut up. Man, just shut up, all right? Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Hello, what's up? How you doing? My name is Pinkie Pie, and I am here to say I'm gonna make you smile and brighten up your day. It doesn't matter now, you are sad or blue. Cause cheering up my friends is what Pinkie here to do. And I am so happy your smile will be with me. Give a smile, I get a smile, and that's the Pinkie short.
Oh, God, man, these freaking bronies, man. Enough, all right? Enough of the brony crap, man. Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Oh, I'm back, dummy. Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here.
Just shut up. Shut up, man. Y'all pissed me off with that on the Saturday Night Troll Show. I just shut up. Just shut your stupid face. 352 Radio Graffiti.
All right, Gladys, from the top. Though we know you love butter, Fleischman's found something other. It's over butter. All the smoothness of butter with a rich, creamy flavor. New over butter.
Yeah, all right. Shut up with the butter crap, all right? Shut up. I think we got Distilling Capitalist Radio Graffiti.
G'day guys, this is Ryan. Congratulations, you've managed to dox me. You now have my name and Facebook. So what I wanted to say is I'll be posting a lot more photos on my Facebook of photos of food for you guys, because I know you like to critique it. See you later, guys. Have a good one, mate.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that there, Distilling. These freaking trolls, man. I'm telling you that right now, these damn trolls. Wait a minute, I think we got the Arabian Prince. Hey, Arabian Prince, are you there, sir?
Oh, yes, I am here. I also have the same issue where people have attempted to dox me, but they have failed incredibly. I mean, they don't even have my real name. They don't have my location. The only thing I saw was accurate was my name. So if you guys want to try doxing me, I already told you how to dox me. It's very easy. Go ahead. I don't care about my information being online, because I'm not as pathetic as a fucking loser on 4chan on Paul complaining about their life and their anime and their bullshit. Fuck Paul.
The Arabian Prince just laid the smack it down on each and every one of you scumbags. The Arabian Prince just slapped the bitch freaking crap out of your mouth. Woo! That was pretty good, Arabian Prince, and thank you very much for tuning in, sir. I appreciate it. All right? That's the Arabian Prince there. He's worth billions of dollars. Man, you can't dox that guy. You're kidding me? He'll send a hit squad to your house and have you killed. What are you talking about? How about anonymous radio graffiti? Here we go again. Another Helen Keller deaf mute. How about anonymous radio graffiti? All right, great. I don't know what the hell you're doing there, boy. How about anonymous radio graffiti? Helen Keller deaf mute radio graffiti. Look, that's not funny, you stupid idiot. All right, shut up. That's not funny. Anonymous radio graffiti.
Friendship is freaking magic, pal. Friendship is freaking magic, pal. Friendship is freaking magic, pal. Friendship is freaking magic, pal.
All right, we get it. Shut your goddamn stupid hole, for Christ's sake. 352 radio graffiti.
There's this misconception that the CIA is only about thwarting terrorism. Truth is, we're just like any other office.
Come on, you can do this.
It says no touchy. Yep, just your average everyday office. No espionage around here, especially with this little trick. No, not my privacy strips. Please come back.
What the hell was that? What the hell was that, for Christ's sake? Anonymous radio graffiti.
That's why, in my personal opinion, I feel that we have to disseminate this simple message that kills things back in understand. And right now...
What the hell is that? Look, you know, this is getting too freaky here, all right? You people are already tainting my Taco Tuesday. I'm getting the hell out of here. All right, I'll be here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And look, Templeton, you got Templeton riled up. Look at Templeton. Follow me on Twitter, folks. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost. I'll be here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. You better hear. What is it, Templeton? You hate communists? You hate communists? He damn right he hates communists. I'm out of here. You better be here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm out of